On Saturday stream, we listened to a lawyer in closing arguments talking crap about Chad. Said that Chad was trying to sell his stupid books, how Chad was a step down from Charles Vallow, looks wise, and then also money wise as well, or bank account wise. And which lawyer was that? That was Lori Vallow's own lawyer that was trashing Chad, and I'm sure she was not happy. And I did mention that I was going to watch the closing arguments from the prosecution side the day afterwards. But then on Sunday, I realized it was Mother's Day, and I was like, oh, it's Mother's Day. Okay, maybe I should just like postpone it to Monday, because like I figured you guys would probably be doing things. I never have anything to do on Mother's Day, but I figured you guys probably have things to do. And, you know, I'll let you guys enjoy time with your family and stuff like that. But yeah, I wanted to do it today. We're going to listen to the prosecution closing arguments. Man, Lori Daybell has already been, she's already been found guilty of all charges. We have Chad Daybell's trial coming up. We don't know when. I don't think there's been a date that's been announced yet, not that I saw. But I look forward to it. I think it's going to be very interesting because, you know, they're probably going to do the same thing, right? They're probably just going to turn it all against Lori. Be like, oh, it wasn't poor Chad's fault. Chad's just a bumbling idiot who's just being mind controlled, manipulated by this beautiful goddess over here. I don't know. They're probably going to say something like that. And then maybe they'll have, I don't know if the kids are even going to testify for him at this point, you know? I know that we watched a couple, or we didn't watch it. We read like a couple articles with the kids supporting the dad and stuff, and they were on like TV and all that. But I wonder if the kids have changed their mind because of all the evidence that came out. And especially after hearing about Lori Vallow's trial. Hi, Bleep. How are you doing today? Hi, Lou. Hi, Jared. Hi, Taxi. How's it going? She looks really old. I mean, people age, you know, that's what happens. Especially when you're in prison. I can't imagine being comfortable in prison. I feel like, you know, if we were all in prison, we'd probably be aging rapidly as well. Rapido! Did you guys have a good weekend, though? How are you guys doing? Let me get my, oh, here it is. Oh, gosh. I couldn't really see the chat really quick. The font was like small. Corgi stream live came mid-sentence. Oh, it probably took a while for it to, like, do its thing. It's okay. You didn't miss much. You probably missed, like, 2.5 words. Hi, Corgi. Hi, y'all. I found a wonderful hat for Mother's Day. We'll post it in Discord. All right, post it in there. I want to see. Good morning. Hello, hello. This year I saw on 48 hours. What was the 48 hours things that you saw? Wait, what's going on with my computer? But yeah, I hope you guys had a good weekend. And I do apologize. I was planning on streaming on Sunday. I was all ready to go, and I was like, wait a second, it's Mother's Day. Maybe I should just postpone it. But I want to listen to closing argument. Prosecutor blasts Doomsday Cult mom Lori Daybell in closing arguments. You must convict her. But, oh, man, I have the transcripts up. The prosecutor, we're going to have to relive the cringe. The prosecutor is going to go through the text messages between Lori, Chad Daybell, little cringy, romancy messages, while throwing in some casual, oh, let's get rid of the children type of thing. And some messages with Alex as well. So I do want to listen to it. And yeah, let's just get right into it. Oh, the Daybell trial. Gotcha. Hi, Queen. How are you doing today? How's it going? Hi, Sam. Hello. I didn't do jack. This weekend, you busted out your special pen and you relaxed all weekend. Lol. I have my game downloaded. I think Jan gave me his Epic login, and I think I don't know. We might play some Dead Rising this week. Apparently, Diablo's coming out in like 2 weeks, so I gotta play a game and like be finished with it before Diablo comes out. Because I think we're gonna play Diablo. I think so. All right, let's just get into it. I thought it was really interesting. I don't know if Law and Crime cuts off. Maybe not, but the prosecutor, they just get right into it. Usually, you know, sometimes when people do their closing arguments, they talk about the law. They talk about like, oh, how to find someone guilty, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. To me, that's all boring stuff. They just go right into it. Just go right at Lori and then just go right into the details. Dead Rising takes place in a small mall. Oh, Dead Island, whatever. I always get it mixed up. I think I wrote, because I have like a to-do list that I wrote down manually. I think I wrote down, what did I write down in here? I wrote, oh, I wrote Evil Dead. I don't even know what's the name of the damn game. It's confusing because all the zombie movies have like Dead Rising, I don't know, Dead Island, Dead up and down, left and right. Okay, it's all confusing. Evil Dead. There's so many names out there. I get confused by them all. Let me know if I need to adjust the audio. I think the audio should be perfect. I listened to this on my iPad and it sounded pretty good. But let me know if I need to make any like tweaks or fine tunes or anything like that, okay? Yeah, dead. It's all the deads.
Money, power, and sex. Beginning in October of 2018, Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell set in motion a series of events that led to 3
That was interesting how it says Chad Daybell. Should just do Chad Devil. Chad Devil.
Horrific murders in the state of Idaho. Along their way, they quickly recruited and groomed her brother Alex Cox to participate in their multiple conspiracies. Each of these conspiracies is part of a larger plan for Chad and Lori to be together, unencumbered and free of obstacles.
Ooh, I like how he used that quote because that's the exact quote that Chad wrote to Lori, hoping that she'll be unencumbered and free of obstacles.
This plan was driven by Lori Vallow's desire for and use of money, power, and sex.
Ugh.
And this plan that she set in motion must end today in the verdict you render in this trial. Idaho murder number 1, Tylee Ryan. Tylee was Lori Vallow's 16-year-old vibrant daughter.
Oh, 16-year-old. I keep hearing in the like online, I kept saying 17-year-old. She's 16 at the time?
She had a whole life ahead of her. Tylee was murdered between September 8th and September 9th, 2019. Lori Vallow was responsible for Tylee's health and safety, but instead of protecting her, Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell, and Alex Cox conspired to murder her. Acting together, they caused her death. Tylee's body was burned beyond recognition. Her body was dismembered in such a grotesque and extreme manner that the medical examiner had to determine the cause of death as homicide by unspecified or unknown means.
And again, her body was not whole. It had to come in 3 separate body bags. Hi, Molly. How are you doing today? Audio's good? All right, great.
She was burned and buried in Chad Daybell's backyard on September 9th, 2019. What was left of her body, they dumped in a green bucket and buried in a pet cemetery on top of a piece of her skull. Tylee was gone and buried and out of the way, but Lori Vallow kept collecting Tylee's money. Tylee Ryan had been receiving Social Security benefits from the death of her father, and Lori personally took steps to make sure that she kept receiving that money after Tylee was murdered. Lori never reported that Tylee was missing or dead. Not only did she not report it, she lied to multiple people about Tylee's location and whereabouts, including to the police. She had to keep her body hidden so she could keep getting the money. Idaho murder number 2.
Oh, did you notice my face? Yeah. I had a feeling Chad would not go through with trial. He's such a coward. There's way more evidence that he actually took part in the deaths. He is toast and probably plead guilty. I don't think there's such things for a light sentence for Chad, though. I don't know. I don't know if they would even take away the death penalty. That might be the best he gets. Like life, no parole, and maybe DP off the table. But I was watching this other reporter talking about how when Lori goes to Arizona, I guess for maybe Charles Vallow's murder, that death penalty might be on the table for that. I don't know. I was watching this other channel that was talking about it. Someone rightfully pointed a weird kind of elephant in the room thing, how religion almost completely got omitted from the motifs for the crime. They had to put her in a bucket. That's awful. Yeah, I heard about that. They found a half-molten plastic bucket in which Tylee's remains were found. Well, I'm talking about the transport, sorry. When the medical examiner received Tylee's remains, they were in 3 separate little bags. I agree. Chad will plea. He is toast. Yeah, because they might do a thing where it's like, hey, let's just not go through trial because we already know you're effed. So maybe they'll do that. But I mean, as long as Chad gets life in prison, no parole, I'm fine with that.
Between September 22nd and 23rd, 2019, JJ Vallow's voice was silenced forever by a strip of duct tape placed across his mouth. A white plastic bag was placed over his head, where it was secured tightly with duct tape, being wrapped around and around from his forehead to his neck. The evidence shows he struggled, and we'll never know how long he fought before they bound his wrists, his forearms, and his ankles with duct tape. That white bag that was placed over his
yeah, and the attempted murder on Brennan Bordeaux.
Head, it was duct taped over his head, cut off his airways. So he stopped breathing. His heart stopped beating, and he died. It was a brutal, horrific murder of a 7-year-old boy with special needs. A 7-year-old boy with special needs. JJ's body was placed in a black plastic and buried like a piece of trash in Chad Daybell's backyard.
Yeah, and the sad part is like the scratch marks that they were talking about that JJ had on his neck. And what did they try to explain it away with? They were like, oh, well, Alex Cox and JJ might have had a scratch battle the night before. It's like, what grown adult has like a scratch fight with a kid? That sounds really weird to me. And I said it sounded very like PDF-y, and I don't know, that just sounds really odd if that was true. But was it true? I don't know, but I highly doubt it. And then not only that, what I don't understand is why by suffocation? Would anyone want to die by suffocation? To me, that sounds like a horrible way to die. Almost painful. Wouldn't the merciful, I'm putting in quotation marks, okay? Wouldn't the merciful way to do it be like a bullet to the head? I don't understand why the children's remains were done in such like a gruesome manner. Do they not own guns? I'm assuming Idaho. I mean, you probably own guns in Idaho, right? I'm so confused. And they're out in the farm? Jesus. Why are the comments off? I didn't know you promoted censorship. What kind of stupid comment is that? The comments for live streams, I don't know. They're always default to off. But why would that be censorship if I have live comments on here? Do you want to retract that entire comment before we all get a brain aneurysm? Who is Brandon? Brandon Bordeaux is Lori Vallow's niece's ex-husband. Melanie Bordeaux, she was also sucked into this whole religious shit as well. And they were trying to put a hit out on her husband at the time, Brandon Bordeaux. I'm assuming maybe they did it because maybe Brandon Bordeaux also had some sort of like life insurance thing. Possibly.
In a shallow, but well-prepared and precise grave. Just like Tylee, JJ was the recipient of Social Security benefits from the death of his father, Charles Vallow. Just like Tylee, Lori never reported that JJ was missing or dead. Why? He had to remain hidden, so she...
And someone mentioned that the children were receiving roughly, I don't know if it's true because I didn't look it up myself, but someone in the chat said the children were receiving roughly like $1,900 each every month. That's a lot of money.
He could keep receiving the money. Not only did she not report, she lied to multiple people about his location. She even asked a friend, Melanie Gibb, to lie to the police about JJ's location, and further asked her to falsify evidence of his location. Just like Tylee, after JJ was murdered, she kept collecting the money.
Wait, does anyone know if Melanie Bordeaux and Brandon Bordeaux, did they have kids? Brandon Bordeaux is apparently pretty close to Lori's kids, and he did testify. I believe when he went up there, he had a very teary testimony. Hi, Black Pope. Welcome back. Hello, hello. Yeah, her remains were found all over the place. There had certainly been something going on that went that way beyond just disposing a body. Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. There was no mercy killing. It's like, let's just kill the kids in one of the most horrible ways possible. And we don't even know what happened with the daughter. We don't even know.
Idaho murder number 3. Between the night of October 19th and the morning of October 20th, or between the night of October 18th and October 20th, 2019, Tammy Daybell, a loving, active, healthy 49-year-old mother of 5, and a school librarian, was murdered in her own home. She was asphyxiated in her own home. The evidence is clear that Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell, and Alex Cox conspired to murder Tammy. Acting together, they caused her death. Her death occurred just a little over a week after a masked gunman had attempted to shoot her. She entered her home after a night of church activities. When their first plan didn't work, they formed a second plan, and she was asphyxiated. Lori was conveniently gone for both the attempted murder and the successful murder. She was conveniently out of the state. Those trips were not.
Do we get, do you guys know if we got like a bunch of leaked messages between Lori and Alex? I really do wonder how their text messages look like. I know we get like some, but like, dude, I wish we can get like the whole entirety of their text messages just to like really see their relationship. How are you doing these days? I'm doing okay. I'm just chilling over here. They were zombies. Did you see Lori's mugshot? It's giving, I'm an innocent schoolgirl tryharding vibes. I think I saw it. I don't know if I remember it though. Diabolic behavior. Mother of 5 that is so evil that makes me so mad. Wonder if a random alert will pop up. Wait, what kind of random alert? From who? You? Are you
and just
fucking
like
with my
Tylee and
stuff
JJ,
again?
there was money to be gained from Tammy's death.
Oh, wait, is this? Is that from Twitch? Listen, I usually turn off my Twitch stuff, but hold on. Let me fix my overlay really quick. I'm sorry. I think I have my Twitch chat up too. I'm sorry. Okay, we're fixing it. Sorry, guys. It's Monday today, you know? Mondays are always kind of like...
$430,000 worth of life insurance. And Lori wasted no time in making sure she could benefit from that money. A mere 2.5 weeks after Tammy Daybell died on November 5th, 2019, Lori Vallow married Chad Daybell on a beach in Hawaii.
So gross.
So less than 2 months after Tylee and JJ are murdered, and within weeks of Tammy's murder.
They're just like giggly little pathetic teenagers. They're just so immature. Like, I'm like they couldn't even wait. They got married so quickly after the kids were murdered. They didn't even care. They were dancing around in Hawaii and stuff like that. Oh my God, they're just so horrible. She killed them for money. How low can you get? I mean, it's like, God, it's just horrible. Yeah. Big toe
Lori and
Chad.
Chad are on a beach, in the words of her sister, dancing on a beach in Hawaii. Free from the obstacles that were Tylee, JJ, and Tammy, but living with the money that was gained from each of their deaths. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to quickly talk to you about the timeline of this case. The timeline tells the truth, and Lori Vallow is convicted by the timeline she created. She meets Chad in October of 2018. You have seen plenty of evidence of the affair that took place after.
Dude, that's so crazy. Meeting someone and knowing them, and then less than a year, husband murdered, 2 kids murdered, the other wife murdered. My God, you've only known someone for less than a year, and you weren't even spending like every day with them. Less than a year. All this for this person that you've known for less than a year?
After they met. July 11th, 2019, Lori's brother, Alex, shoots and kills Charles Vallow, Lori's husband. September 8th and 9th, Tylee Ryan, Lori Vallow's daughter, is killed. September 22nd to 23rd, JJ Vallow, her son, is killed. October 19th, 2019, Tammy Daybell is killed. These are not coincidences. And there is one common thread through these murders.
Oh no, Lori Vallow smirks in mugshot. Oh God, is this her with the pigtails? Oh, goosebumps. Is this her? Is she trying to look all cute? Oh God, Lori. Lori doesn't know. She don't care about reading the room. She don't care. She thinks she's looking so cute over here. Is pictured in mugshot from Madison County Jail. She was found guilty last week of murdering her 2 children. This is an image that I did not see. Why is she smiling? You know what? She's probably got the Jodi Arias mindset. I'm sorry. I hate talking about Jodi, but it's also kind of interesting talking about Jodi. Jodi Arias, I think she was also smiling in her mugshot, didn't she? Find it. Oh God, yeah, fucking Jodi Arias, dude. Maybe Lori Vallow is just Jodi Arias, but like years later, you know, if Jodi didn't commit murder but decided to like 20 years down the road or something. Jodi Arias was like, yeah, I smiled in my mugshot because, you know, sometimes these always appear out in the public and you always want to look good or some stupid thing like that, you know, some very like vain shit. I wouldn't be surprised if Lori Vallow was like, well, you know what? Since the entire internet, they're on my nuts, I might as well look good for them or something. Maybe Lori Vallow is trying to find the what is it? Hyperbristophiliac? I can never pronounce. Hybristophilias. Yeah, she's looking for the hybristophiliacs so they can fall in love with this picture and then start sending her money in jail or something. This might be a thing. She trying to take what she can get. Yeah, baby, Kurt. Brandon, thank you so much for the $2.99. Oh, I appreciate the Corky sticker. Thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, if she murdered her ex-husband that she hated and he was abusive and she's like, you know what? I'm proud that I did it. I don't care. But this is like, girl, you like murdered like 2 of your kids and your ex-husband, which we know you don't care about, but come on. Anyways, ugh.
Lori Vallow. She is the one person who ties these all together. You heard about the investigation and how it got started, looking for a Jeep that was used in an attempted shooting at Brandon Boudreaux on October 2nd. You heard about Chad and the life insurance. They're married November 5th. You heard about how the Rexburg police got a call looking for JJ towards the end of November.
And you know what's even more stupid? Like, how are they planning on murdering all these people around them and not get caught? And here's the thing, for their honeymoon, it's not like they left the United States and went to Thailand. They left to go to Hawaii. They even tried to escape. They were like, you know what? We're still going to continue living in the US and we should be fine. Like, did you not think that people were going to come after you? They even tried to leave the country and go somewhere else. Like, it's like they weren't even trying to get away with it. Oh, God. The braids are awful. I'm guessing that the ladies in jail who can braid don't care for Lori. She looks like Pippi. No, I love Pippi Longstockings. Oh my God, it's one of my favorite childhood movies. Pippi Longstockings. I gotta rewatch it though. I love Pippi Longstockings. Do you remember? Do you guys remember that movie Matilda? There was this girl that had pigtails, and Miss Trunchbull didn't like it because she had pigtails and she was wearing all pink or something. So Miss Trunchbull took her by the pigtails and started swinging her around and like threw her across the schoolyard. Oh my God. I hope there's a Trunchbull in prison. Trunchbull schoolyard. Hold on. Miss Trunchbull. I think it's the cedar here.
I'm Matilda. Lavender. I'm Hortensia.
What kind of name is Hortensia? Oh, let's see. This part right here. Oh, this girl. This poor...
It's Miss Trunchbull.
What are those?
What's what, Miss Trunchbull?
This poor little girl. She's about to get yeeted across the schoolyard.
Hang down by your ears.
You mean my pigtails?
All right, this is low-key child abuse, okay? But this is one of my favorite movies, like in the 90s.
Good loss.
Just eats her. Oh God! All right, who wants to summon Miss Trunchbull so they can just yeet Lori around the prison? Okay, guys. All right, serious face. We're going back to closing argument. Serious face. Okay, so we're gonna go back to Brandon Bordeaux was attempted murder October 2nd.
Brandon Boudreaux on October 2nd. You heard about Chad and the life insurance. They're married November 5th. You heard about how the Rexburg police got a call looking for JJ towards the end of November. And that kicks off the investigation looking for JJ and Tylee, how they searched the apartments, and how finally, through their investigation, the bodies of Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow were found on June 9th. Tammy's body was exhumed on December 11th. Alex Cox died December 12th.
Does anyone kind of wish that Alex Cox is still alive today? Or are you guys glad that he died? I'm like, man, if Alex Cox was alive today, dude, I feel like we would have so much information that would just be pouring out. I don't know. Like, yeah, they can try to pin everything on Alex Cox, but I'm pretty sure Lori and Chad would still go down for it anyway. But man, I feel like Alex Cox at some point would turn on Chad, Daybell, maybe even on Lori too. Have you seen the remake musical? No, I have not. I'm not a huge fan of musicals, but I did want to watch it. So maybe, Danny. Oh my God, that was awful. He was under Lori's spell. He should be alive so we know more. It's like, at least we don't have to waste time with him, but I do want to know more, though. I just want someone to just tell us what happened to the kids, you know?
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to speak with you about the law a little bit. And the judge already read it to you.
I was like, I don't know. I feel like we need someone that's like remorseful. Maybe that just makes us feel better because we're selfish or something. But like, we're not getting any remorse from Lori. I seriously doubt we're going to get any remorse from Dodo Head Chad. But Alex, I don't know. Maybe he'll turn on Lori. I don't know. But he's dead.
I'm not going to go through and read it to you again. But there's some things that are important to point out. And so in the jury instructions, you have them. You don't need to turn to them. But as you go back and deliberate, there's things we want you to think about. In jury instruction number 28, which is the elements you need to find to establish that Lori Vallow is guilty of conspiracy to commit murder and grand theft against Tylee Ryan. Some of those things are easy. The dates, the state of Idaho, those are incontrovertible. Conspiracy comes down to, this is a crime of agreement. Did Lori agree to have Tylee killed and to steal that money? Did she intend for those events to actually happen?
Yes.
And did any of the conspirators, perform an overt act in furtherance of that agreement?
Yes.
Now, as you read the jury instructions and you read over the overt acts, it'll be number 6 in your instruction.
I think last time when I was streaming this, what we were debating on was, who do we think the main manipulator was? Was it Chad or was it Lori? I always thought it was Chad, but I think Chad was just some creep that would use like these like weird religious shit to pick up women, and it worked on Lori. But I don't know. I think they just ended up trying to manipulate each other. Ew, Lori. Oh, please don't make a couple name with Lori and Chad. It actually sounds like a bacteria or something, like E. coli. Chalori. You should read the text. I read some of it on stream and I was like, but the prosecutor here is gonna relive the text messages, so we get to live it all over again.
It is that one of the parties to the agreement performed at least one of the following acts. So when it comes to conspiracy, what you need to ask yourself, who murdered these people? Did Lori conspire for these murders and for these thefts?
She did.
Did she intend for it to happen? Mm-hmm. And was one of these overt acts accomplished in furtherance of the conspiracy? As it says, you only need to find one overt act. The state has met its burden for each of the overt acts. You only need to find one.
Man, and these idiots, they had everything on text messages. You could have as many burner phones as you like, but you know what? Sometimes it's I don't know. Sometimes like people find it anyways. The police end up finding it, or like maybe the family members are like, hey, I didn't remember her having a bunch of cell phones or something. Like, I don't know. They got burned, man. They had all the evidence out there. We got all these text messages. Lori.
Turning to jury instruction number 29, which is the actual murder of Tylee Ryan. Because we want to differentiate. There's the crime of conspiracy to murder, which is crime of agreement, and the actual murder. And what you need to ask yourselves, again, on or about certain dates in the state of Idaho, that's incontrovertible. What you need to ask yourself, who killed Tylee Ryan? And did Lori aid, abet, advise, or counsel that murder? Did she encourage that murder? You remember in voir dire, when you were all asked, and you all raised your hand, about the question, if someone is proven to have aided or abetted, could you still find them guilty? Under the law, if you find that Lori aided, abetted, advised, or counseled, you must find her guilty. Jury instruction 29 is the conspiracy for JJ. You need to go over those same questions. Who killed him? Did Lori conspire to that? Did she agree to JJ being killed? Did she intend for it to happen? And did one of those overt acts happen in furtherance of that agreement? 31 is the murder of JJ. Again, remember to separate the crimes of conspiracy from the crime of murder. Instruction 32 is a conspiracy on Tammy. Again, who killed her? Did Lori agree to it?
Oh, I saw here that it says Letitia Stauch is being booked into a state facility. Which facility did you say it was? Denver's women's prison? Yeah, she's trying to get into the other one, the rehab, right? The one that's mainly focused on rehab and like mental health. I bet this prison in Denver is enthralled that they have her. Is that her new updated mugshot? She's wearing like a green jumper suit. Man. They both, Lori and Letitia got the matching brows, man. The little skinny brows. Dude, that was a trend in like the 2000s, early 2000s. Oh, God.
Was there an overt act taken in furtherance of that?
Hey, Joe.
And the final, instruction 34, the grand theft. To find her guilty, you need to find that she deprived the United States of money that belonged to them and not her. You can find it by two ways, that she deceived them or that she just intended to keep the money. That's a summary of the jury instructions, ladies and gentlemen. When you go back to deliberate, read them carefully. And as you do, you will find that the state has met its burden of proving these elements, each and every one of them, beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yep, and Lori's lawyers, I don't give them shit or anything because they're doing their job. They're public defenders. But Lori's lawyers were like trying to, after the prosecution presented their case, they try to get this case like dismissed. And they're like, oh, the state, they didn't meet their burden of proving that Lori did any of this. Alex did it. Chad did it. But Lori, she didn't do it. Although I'm pretty sure they did not believe that. You can totally tell in the closing arguments.
A few things to consider. This is just a portion of the definition of reasonable doubt taken directly out of your jury instruction. Follow the jury instruction, read the whole jury instruction. But I want to point out, a reasonable doubt is not a mere possible or imaginary doubt. It's not something you make up. It's a doubt based on reason and common sense. Reason and common sense. So ladies and gentlemen, as you go back and deliberate, and you consider these elements, and you consider these crimes that were committed, use your reason and your common sense.
Yeah, I think this is her new mugshot right here. Same thing, long black Samara hair. She's wearing like a green jumper. Oh God. How tall is she? 5'4"?
Malice. It's one of those words that may mean something out in the normal world, and in court may mean something a little bit different. Follow the jury instruction. Malice can be express, where someone says they want this to happen. It can be implied. You will find express and implied malice in this case.
In the
there
text
is an abundance
messages.
of malice. Aiding and abetting, again, already went over this, but any person who aids and abets, who assists, facilitates, promotes, or encourages a crime to happen is just as guilty as anyone else involved in the crime. Aiding and abetting is just the same as pulling the trigger. Overt acts. As I mentioned, you need to find on a conspiracy that at least one overt act was committed. You need to find at least one overt act beyond a reasonable doubt. In your jury instructions, there's a list, and we're going to go over them in a second. You need to find that one of those acts was done for the purpose of carrying out the agreement. Overt acts do not need to be, in and of themselves, illegal. Remember that. They don't need to be illegal. But if it's an act done in furtherance of the conspiracy,
which one, Queen? The Letitia Stalk one?
then it is an overt act and makes it a part of the crime. Let's quickly go through the overt acts. We're not going to discuss them a lot. That's for you to do when you get back in deliberations.
Yeah, I'll put it
in regards
Discord.
to Tylee, JJ, and Tammy, Lori is charged with endorsing and espousing religious beliefs for the purpose of encouraging and or justifying murder. To be clear, no one here has been charged because of their religious beliefs. They are charged for using those beliefs for the purpose of justifying murder. In terms of Tylee, Lori Vallow, on or around August 16, 2019, changed the deposit for the Social Security benefits to go from Tylee's JP Morgan account to Lori's personal BBVA account. You saw that evidence. In regards to the conspiracies on Tylee, JJ, and Tammy, Lori Vallow, along with Alex Cox, Tylee Ryan, and Joshua Jackson Vallow, JJ Vallow, moved from Arizona to Rexburg. Why is that important? Why is that an overt act? They couldn't kill the kids in Arizona, where they had friends and family. Moving to Rexburg was the catalyst for these murders. They had to hide Tylee and JJ. They had to go somewhere where nobody knew them. So moving to Rexburg furthered the conspiracy to kill Tylee and JJ.
Which is so dumb because they have family members. Obviously, the family members are going to check up on these kids. God, these idiots murdered these kids for no reason.
Talks to where he could kill and help kill Tammy Daybell. In regards to Tylee's conspiracy, Chad Daybell Googled south-southwest wind and visited the website. What's the definition of south-southwest wind? In regards to Tylee, you heard evidence that in the early morning hours of September 9th, Alex Cox went to 565 Pioneer Road, apartment 175. That was Lori's apartment. Also in regards to Tylee, that Lori failed or refused to contact Social Security to let them know of Tylee's death, and that she continued to wrongfully collect those Social Security benefits. In regards to JJ, on September 23rd, Alex Cox took JJ.
I'm also wondering, why did they decide to murder the kids separately? You would think they would just do it all in one day, but why Tylee first and then why JJ like a couple weeks afterwards? Do you think that they were planning on keeping JJ initially? And then they're like, nah, never mind. We're not going to keep JJ. I just thought it was like really weird. There's someone who's going to represent themselves. Oh God. What did this Robert tell? What did they do? Wait, is that the guy that murdered the 2 teenagers on the trail? Or is that something else?
He took custody of him. Also in regards to JJ, November 26, 2019, Lori Vallow provided a false and or misleading physical location of JJ to the police. You saw that on video. Also, in regards to JJ, September 23rd, 20th through the 19th.
No, they think Tylee was murdered between September 8, 9, and then JJ was murdered like 2 weeks afterwards.
That she failed or refused to contact Social Security to inform them of JJ's death. Why? To further the conspiracy of grand theft.
She wanted that money.
And that she continued to collect that money.
God, and what did she use the money for? She used the money to buy a wedding dress. She used the money to buy wedding rings on Amazon. What else did she use the money for? Do we get the bank statements? Ugh.
Furthering the conspiracy. In regards to the conspiracy to murder Tammy.
Go to Hawaii.
Again,
honeymoon.
Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow espoused or endorsed religious beliefs for the purpose of justifying Tammy's homicide. September 1, 2019, again, they moved to Rexburg. I've already spoken about that. There were text messages in regards to the conspiracy for Tammy between Chad and Lori regarding death percentages for Tammy and JJ July 30th, 2019. Chad Daybell obtained a burner phone on September 18th, 2019. Alex Cox obtained a burner phone October 9th, 2019. All these steps taken to further their conspiracy. Further on Tammy, text messages between Chad and Lori about Tammy being in limbo and Tammy being possessed by a spirit. In regards to Tammy, Chad co-signed a life insurance policy increasing the amount of insurance he would get upon her death.
They're just gritty people.
On October 9th, Alex Cox attempted to shoot Tammy. Between October 8th.
Wait, was Lori not working? What does Lori do? Chad was writing his stupid books, right? They said Chad was making like, what, 20, 30 a year? What the fuck was Lori doing? Did she not work at all? Was she like a stay-at-home mom? Cosmetology? Oh God, no way. What kind of cosmetology? Stylist? That was Charles' money that brought the honeymoon, the wedding attire. She gave one money to Colby, hairstyle, sex toys, Chloe cream. Oh God, please don't. No, Charles Vallow money, the life insurance money. She didn't get it. She thought she was going to get it, but Charles had changed the policy so the beneficiary was like his sister or something. LCD was gathering the LCD for her and Chad. What's LCD? LSD? Hi, Chopper. How are you doing today? She does have one living adult son and some grandkids. She also got, yeah, she's just the birth mother. She's the birth mother of Tylee and then just adopted mother of JJ. She ain't a real mom. She got like $4,000 a month after his death.
On October 12th, Alex Cox conducted multiple internet searches related to Grendel drop, related to a Dodge Dakota.
Yeah, I was like,
all in
LSD?
furtherance of the conspiracy to kill Tammy. He goes to gun range.
Lori was running around collecting LCD screens for Chad. Sorry, okay. Happy Monday. How are you? How was your weekend?
And for all, Alex Cox conducted multiple internet searches related to Grendel drop, related to a Dodge Dakota, all in furtherance of the conspiracy to kill Tammy. He goes to gun ranges in furtherance of the conspiracy. He went to Sportsman's Warehouse.
God, what a cringe person, too. Alex Cox. Was he going to gun ranges so he can practice his shooting, practice his aim? God, what a loser.
You saw what he bought there. And then on the night that Tammy died, Alex Cox goes to a church parking lot just about 2.5 miles south of Chad Daybell's house. These are all overt acts. Things done to further the conspiracy. Steps taken to get to murder. Let's talk about some of the digital evidence you've seen in this case. You've heard evidence from HomerJMaximus@gmail.com, Chad.Daybell@gmail.com, LollyTimeForever@gmail.com.
lollyfuntimeforever@gmail.com. Oh my god, at least these idiots were using Gmail. You know, I thought they were using like Yahoo or MSN or something. AOL.com. lollyfuntimeforever. What is his name? Lori. Oh.
Other phone data and iCloud accounts. Let's look now, as we're thinking about these overt acts.
He's a loser for going to a gun range. Yes, because he went to the gun range to practice his shooting and aim so he can murder someone. Okay, take it into context, gun, sun, sky, rain.
And the steps taken for murder. What was Alex Cox Googling? On October 1st, the day before Brandon Boudreaux was shot at, he Googles Brandon Boudreaux's address. October 8th, the day before Tammy.
This guy's just creating a trail. Oh my god. Let me just Google Brandon Boudreaux's address. How does he not know his address, by the way? Wouldn't he be able to just get it from Melanie? Oh my god, dude. Was Alex Cox at least doing all this on a burner phone? At least? At a minimum? Hi, Corgi. Hi, Jeannie. How are you doing today? Charles made a huge mistake. He changed beneficiary and didn't tell Lori. Had he told her, she wouldn't really have a reason to kill him. She would have left JJ with him and not kill him. Maybe. We don't know. Maybe. Perhaps. I don't know. I'm cringe as this
shot at.
I don't know, man.
He
Look at your
Googles
message.
drop from 100 yards to 300 yards. He's figuring out how to sight his rifle. October 10th, after the failed shooting, in what you heard from the Gilberts, Todd and Alice Gilbert, was an unseasonably cold October. How to prep your AR for the cold. AR-15 cold weather operation. How to help your AR load in the cold.
Maybe this guy wanted to get caught. Maybe he wanted to get caught, you know? Maybe he wanted to get caught and then hopefully Lori would get caught and then Chad would get caught. I don't know. Alex Cox, really not smart person.
FBI simulation shooting, a 5.56.
Kind of like Letitia when she was Googling everything. Like, I hate my stepson. Hit and run. I hate my husband. I hate my stepkids. What do I do? My kids' children treat me like a babysitter or something like that. She was just basically putting all her horrible thoughts onto the internet searches. Did she not know? Did she not think that upon murdering someone, they're going to go through your search history and be like, gee, golly, really does seem like this person had murderous intent.
Through car doors and walls. Then, 2008 Dodge Dakota still body thickness. You heard testimony Tammy and Chad had. It was a 2004 Dodge Dakota. But he's figuring out shooting the still body thickness just the day after he messed up his first attempt on Tammy's life. How to drill baffles to make a suppressor. Chad Daybell. Talking about overt acts again. September 8th, he searched south-southwest wind and visited what is the definition of south-southwest wind direction. Why? Because the next day, he knows he will be burning Tylee Ryan in his fire pit, and he needs to know which way the wind will be blowing. You heard testimony of the officers who searched that account. This is the only time he searches wind direction. The only time. Lori, on lollytimeforever@gmail.com, 8/25/2019. She's searching wedding bands made of malachite. Tammy's not dead yet. They've gotten rid of Charles, but Tammy is still alive, and she's already searching for wedding rings. 9/30/2019, a couple of days before Brandon Boudreaux was shot at from the back of a Jeep Wrangler. How to take the back seat out of my Jeep Wrangler. October 22nd, 2019, the day that Tammy Daybell is being buried. What is Lori doing? She's looking up wedding dresses in Kauai. Her boyfriend's wife is being buried that day, and she's already looking for wedding dresses.
She didn't care. She did not give a shit. She was happy. She was celebrating. She was ready to go on with her life.
Let's talk about Tammy Daybell's phone and the text that was recovered from that phone. September 9th, 2019, at 11:53 a.m., Chad Daybell places himself in his own backyard, and he says, well, to Tammy, well, I've had an interesting morning. I felt I should burn all of the limb debris by the fire pit before it got too soaked by the coming storms. While I did so, I spotted a big raccoon along the fence. I hurried and got my gun, and he was still walking along. I got close enough that one shot did the trick. He is now in our pet cemetery. Fun times. This text is where Chad Daybell told us where to locate Tylee Ryan. This text is where Chad Daybell told us he burnt her limbs. This text was further suspicious.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Imagine killing a child and then texting to your wife that you're about to kill. Oh, yeah, it was just a raccoon, you know. I killed a raccoon. I'm buried in the pet cemetery. Letitia's the plan of collecting enough hair grease so she can slide out of prison through the sewage pipes. Disgusting, okay? Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if Letitia Stauch all of a sudden gets an interest into, like, you know. Oh, God, hello. You know how Letitia Stauch, her inspiration is like TV shows, movies, and stuff like that? Man, if she ever gets her hand on that TV show Prison Break, Wonder if he searched former of Wiccan type stuff that correlate with wins. I think poor Tylee and JJ were sacrificed by their cult, so sad, unbelievable, and senseless. They really need to place a warning flammable sign on her. Also, a biohazard sign.
Raccoons in daylight. It's not impossible, but they're nocturnal. And then he buries it in his pet cemetery. You saw the satellite footage of later in the day of September 9th. The disturbance in the ground.
I don't know. I don't know if they, I don't truly believe that they believe in this whole like religious shit that they're espousing. I think they just wanted to manipulate people and they wanted to use the religion as a justification to murder and be together and cheat on their significant others, right? Because Chad was like, oh, you know, in our past lives, you know, we were husband and wife, blah, 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 blah. So technically we're not cheating. You're not cheating on your husband. I'm not cheating on my wife. We've already been together in the past life. You know, that's a justification for cheating right there. And then for getting rid of the kids, they were sending weird text messages saying they're like, oh, what was it again? It was like, what percentage are they today? It was like 2%, 3%. It's like, what were the chances of them like turning to zombies? I don't know. It was like something weird like that. I think the prosecutor's going to get into it. I think they're just trying to use religion as just like a justification, murder the kids and stuff like that, and to be together. Did I really believe they believe in the batshit crazy stuff? I don't think so, but maybe. Wouldn't be surprised.
Near the pet cemetery. The day after Tylee Ryan is last seen in Yellowstone National Park. She's never seen again. But she turned up in that pet cemetery Chad Daybell was talking about that day. He told law enforcement where to find her.
Because remember, you know, Chad Daybell had like, what, 6 recruits or something? If he could convince all those recruits to get life insurance policies on their kids or maybe their significant others and then collect money off of it and already mind control them, you know, 6 people is not a lot, but, you know, the life insurance policies for those 6 individuals, you know, might be significant. I don't know if that was his reasoning. Could be. There isn't enough sanitizer for this woman. This religion is a mix of QAnon loosely based on Mormon faith and Harry Potter. Wait, I think Chad does make references to Harry Potter, though. I think, didn't he believe like the spells in Harry Potter or something like that? I don't know if it's just like, maybe the tabloids are being unfair towards Chad, but I've read that somewhere and I was like giggling at it because I was like, yo, Chad Daybell, Harry Potter, Letitia Stauch, Twilight, these two, they need to get together, okay? They need to make Lori jealous and they need to get together and then they can all just stab each other in the back in the end.
There are patterns that emerge through the digital evidence and through these iCloud accounts about Chad and Lori's affair. You've read and you'll have back in deliberations the James and Elena story. Their future together. This was all a plan. Like I said at the beginning, a plan for them to be together without obstacles. Obstacles is the word they used. You learn about the relationship between Chad and Lori and Alex and how Lori is the conduit of information to Alex. How Alex does what Lori tells him. The plan to remove obstacles. And those
Wormtail Daybell. Oh, God. Wait, no, I feel like Alex would be more like Wormtail. No, subservient. No backbone. I don't know. Maybe they both could be Wormtails. Guards will need a hazmat suit to go into Letitia's cell. Letitia will be the Twilight, Chad with the Harry Potter. Exactly. Hi, Blues Girl. How are you doing today? It was a text message from Chad to Lori. He said he is Harry Potter all grown up, bruh. No, he did not. Are you serious? I didn't see that. We should take Lori and Chad and DB and Letitia and take people on them in a worldwide and play some on Snake Island for the Hunger Games survival. Who would win that? I don't know, man. Lori would like have to manipulate someone to do all the work for her. She would be too dependent.
Those obstacles are Tylee Ryan, JJ Vallow, and their spouses, Charles Vallow and Tammy Daybell. And you also start seeing the need for money, how this revolves around money. I'm going to remind you about Colby Ryan's testimony, her son's own testimony, that every 2 to 3 months, Lori would tell him, we're out of money. So it was a concern for her.
Mm.
In terms of the digital evidence, one of the overt acts is that on September 9th, Alex Cox went to Lori's apartment.
And you know what's the ridiculous thing about this? They could have had their happy, fucked up life, you know? Lori would divorce from Charles. Lori would give JJ to Charles. Tylee would soon become an adult. Yes, she would miss out on the Social Security money, but you know what? She could just easily just work. She can work and then get that income back. It's not like she was missing out on like millions every month or anything like that, right? She could just work. I don't know. Or they could run their religious shit together. They could write their books together. They could do their podcast together. Like, they had ways to make money. They weren't like disabled fucking adults who weren't able to do anything. And Chad, well, divorced Tammy. His kids were already grown. Doesn't have to worry about custody or anything like that. Like, these two could have easily had the life that they fucking wanted. But no, Lori wanted her, I don't know, $4,000 a month free from Social Security benefit. And then Chad wanted the life insurance money. Like, y'all could have worked, man. You guys were able adults. You guys were just fucking idiots. You could have had the life that you wanted. Just work and you'd be fine. That's it. Makes no sense.
You see here, September 9th, from 2:42 a.m. in the morning to 3:37 a.m. in the morning. Alex Cox goes to Lori's apartment.
Hi, Eddie.
Why is that significant? September 8th is the last known sighting of Tylee Ryan. September 9th, she's buried in Chad Daybell's backyard. That morning, there's a phone call between Chad Daybell and Alex Cox. It's a 3-minute phone call at 8:11 a.m. By 8:49, Alex Cox is moving. We can track him by his phone. And at 9:15, he's just south of Chad Daybell's residence. These are the hits on GPS on Alex's phone on September 9th. From 9:21 to 10:57. Here's the burn pit that Tylee was burned in. Here's Alex's GPS hits right by where Tylee's buried, feet away. Another hit at the gate coming in. Again, within the same time frame as the text from Chad to Tammy about the raccoon. An overt act taken to further the conspiracy of the murder of Tylee Ryan and to keep stealing her money.
These two are sociopaths. Sociopaths have different needs, insane people. I mean, they lived like, well, actually, we don't know about Lori. We don't know if she'd been murdering her ex-husband or anything. But I was assuming, okay, that's a huge assumption to make, actually. I don't know if I want to assume that because we don't know. Maybe Chad has murdered people in the past and gotten away with it. But I'm saying, like, these people are like 40s and 50s, man. Like, you just got another, 30 more years each? Y'all could do it. You don't need to kill people. Lori used to be a hairdresser. They make decent tips. According to his sister-in-law, working was not Chad's strong suit. I mean, just do the podcast. Nowadays, you can like stay home and work, right? You can do your podcast. You can, there are some batshit weird people on YouTube or like on streaming services that like, you can fucking do that if you want. Well, actually, I'm lying. Keep him off the internet. No, we don't want him on the internet. According to his sister, Heather Daybell was really clear on that. Tammy was the one who held down a stable job their whole marriage. And here's the thing. Let's say that like Tammy was the one that was working. She was working to support the family while this guy wasn't working. He was doing his like, side job, writing his books or whatever. Not only that, he gets this woman killed or he kills her and he collects her life insurance policy. Like this guy sucked everything out of her. Jesus. The Chosen Goddess versus the Frisky Princess pay-per-view. Wait, what would Jody be? Jody would be the the doggy door invader. We got the frisky constipated princess, the doggy door invader. Now Lori needs to have a different name. The Chosen Goddess is too good for Lori. I think her knowing about the life insurance policy did make her think she was just missing out on millions if she just like divorced him first. Oh God, but it's like, are these people not rich? Like I mean, definitely not. But like, come on, man. You need to be more risk adverse. Like, yeah, you might have millions to gain, but at the same time, bro, you're fucking murdering people. You have a chance of getting caught. Hi, Kelsey. How are you doing today? Hello. Oh, during Letitia Stauch. Oh, man. At least something sort of good came out of Letitia Stauch. Bringing some of us together. But yeah, we just looked at Letitia Stauch's current, recent prison photo. She wearing neon green right now. Alex with Zulema, I I hope I'm their fall guy, either a man of God, if not. Excellently, Alex does the next day. My theory is Zulema told Lori and Chad. They told her to poison him. Yeah, but they did the autopsy on him though, didn't they? Oh no, his body was cremated. Shoot, I don't know. They just said it was natural causes. The day Charles was killed, Lori took the rental vehicle that Charles rented, the Burger King. Yes! Yes! That's what I thought. That was weird, Madame Butterfly. So the kids were all at the house, and the three adults, they get into some sort of argument, right? Lori takes the kids to the car, and then apparently something went down where Alex Cox had to defend himself against Charles, and Charles was killed. Gunshot. And what does Lori do? Lori's like, okay, well, you know what, Alex? Good luck with this. I'm going to go to Burger King with the kids, and I'll come back later. Which is wild. And then she comes back later, and then she sees Alex sitting on the curb, and the police are there questioning, and like, yeah, it's very, very, very odd. Jody could be entertainment. She could do the handstands. Yeah, she could sing Silent Night for us. Lori, the chosen sheets. The sheet suit goddess. Oh, man. DB returns June 26th. Wait, for what, Chopper? I know he was trying to appeal. And then I heard, oh, is it like restitution? Is that what it's for? Oh, man. Did you guys hear about the judge that was the Parkland shooter judge? Oh, my God. She's gone. She stepped down. Yo, she was a very spicy judge, but she was also, in my opinion, at least compared to all the other judges that we've seen, she seemed very unprofessional. She had some anger issues or something. Okay, sorry, let's watch this video. Sorry.
At 11:47, Alex is just north of Chad Daybell's residence and heading south. They've done the deed.
Oh, Chopper.
They've burnt Tylee. They've dismembered her, and they've buried her. And then that same day, phone calls. You saw the full cast report, and you have it to go, and I encourage you in deliberations to go look at it. Chad calls Lori for 3 minutes at 11:45 as Alex is leaving.
Yep, and Laura's probably like, hey, so is the deed done yet? Are you finally free of our encumberments?
September 23rd.
So gross.
Before we look at this, let's talk about the testimony you heard about September 23rd. Melanie Gibb and David Warwick spent the weekend of September 22nd and 23rd with Lori Vallow in her apartment. Lori tells Melanie, JJ is a zombie. He's acting totally different. Mm-hmm. Using a religious belief to justify his death.
Yes.
An overt act. On the morning of the 23rd, David Warwick inquires of Lori, where's JJ? She tells him that he's been climbing up the cabinets and the refrigerator. So she sent him with Alex Cox. An overt act. Alex Cox took possession and custody of JJ that morning. We can see from 9:01 to 9:41, Alex is in his apartment on September 23rd. There's a phone call, a 38-second phone call from Chad Daybell to Alex Cox that morning. 38 seconds at 9:25. By 9:45, Alex is again on his way to Chad Daybell's house, this time with JJ Vallow in tow. September 23rd. Here's Alex's phone, mere feet from where JJ was buried. Last known sighting of JJ, September 22nd. He was never seen again. No matter how many tips the police followed up on, they never found him. They never found Tylee until they found him here, where Alex's phone was being hit by GPS. He shows up. The first is at 9:55. At 10:12, he appears to be leaving on a Wi-Fi hit. So about 17 minutes. That grave was not dug in 17 minutes. That grave was too precise. It was too well prepared. This was planned. This was premeditated murder. Lori encouraged it. She aided it. She handed her boy off to Alex Cox.
You sure did.
And then Alex Cox, at 10:12, heads back south to Rexburg.
Eddie, thank you. Oh, wait, Eddie, you gifted us. Thank you for gifting a membership. Oh, Jeannie, welcome. Eddie, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for gifting a membership. And Jeannie, welcome. Enjoy your membership. Enjoy your corgi emotes and enjoy your baby corgi badge. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you for the support, man. She right into mom mode. Who first thought would that be? to take the kids and go to Burger King. Not normal. You would think that she would take the kids and drop them off at a relative's house while she comes back and deals with it. Hello, Neko. How are you doing today? How's it going? We throw a lot of like lighthearted, off tangent side while listening to some, heated moment stuff.
There's a lot of electronic devices in this case. You heard about a lot of electronic devices. This one is significant. Chad Daybell, on October 9th, activates a new phone.
A new phone?
In a text to Lori from his old phone number, his normal phone number, he says, "I will call right now from a 401 number." That was at 10:26.
Wait, he gets a burner phone so he doesn't get tracked, but then he texts with his OG phone, says, "Hey, I'm going to call you with my burner phone, and here's the number that it ends in." Oh, God. Is that what he did?
Went the wrong way. 10:27. He's calling from the new 401 number. Let's talk about the digital evidence on October 9th, the day Tammy was shot at. Alex, from 12 to 1:23 p.m., he's at his sister's house. You saw the evidence. He goes to Sportsman's Warehouse. You saw what he bought: the black mask, the mittens, the black pants.
Oh, Madam August Butterfly. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy your badge and enjoy your emotes. Thank you so much for your support. How many phones do they have? For what chat told me, they had a lot of burner phones. But that's relying on what chat told me. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much.
That afternoon, this is one of the overt acts. He goes up and travels by Chad Daybell's residence. You can follow his phone as he scopes out the property again. And then he drives back past it. And then you remember seeing the evidence that his phone that night stayed at his apartment. Here's some of the digital data from that day. 6 texts between Chad and Lori, between 5:28 and 7:03. Between 7:13 and 8:43, 15 texts between Alex and Chad. Again, ask yourself, what ties Alex to Chad? Lori Vallow.
Oh, here's
Remember Zulema
Zulema.
Pastenes' testimony about that night. She hears Lori get off of a phone call and angrily proclaim, he can't do anything right. Because he failed. He failed when he tried to kill Tammy that night.
Oh, that's what you're talking about, Zulema. Is that one of the Chad's followers? One of his like 6 followers? Oh, dude. Oh my God, I could totally see Lori being like that.
October 18th, the night of the successful murder. Between 10:05 p.m. and 10:07, Alex Cox is traveling north. From 10:07 to 10:45, his phone is tracked at the Salem Church. This is just approximately 2.5 miles south of Chad Daybell's house. This is the night Tammy dies. This is the night Tammy was murdered. And you see some of the digital activity. 10 text messages between Alex and Chad between 10:23 and 10:54. At 11:28, an image is deleted off of Tammy's phone. 11:34 to 11:35, Chad sends 2 texts to Lori.
I didn't hear too much about Zulema's testimony. Alex Cox's former wife. Did she say that she thought there was like weird things going on with Lori and Alex? Does Alex Cox have kids? She married Alex because they told her to. What? Hi, no one. How are you doing today? No kids. Okay. Alex took Zulema's last name. They were part of the mission. Oh, Jesus. All right, let me look into this.
11:46, Alex leaves the parking lot. 11:53 to 12:09, Alex calls Lori. Remember where Lori is. She's in Hawaii. On purpose, not a coincidence. And here's that call from Alex to Lori. And here's her receiving it in Hawaii. Let's talk about the crime scene. Chad Daybell's residence. For some reason this isn't coming through.
Do we think that Alex was the one that murdered Tammy? Or do we think that it was Chad that did it? Sorry. They probably talked about whether or not Alex may have been there or not. I thought it was Chad who may have done it, but I don't know, man. Would Chad have the balls to do it? I don't know how to pronounce that. Zulema Pastenes, who married Vallow's brother Alex Cox the months before he died. Oh, what recent? Not even like a longtime wife. And it was close confidant of Vallow, said the murder suspect claimed her children had been possessed and attacked by demons before she allegedly killed them. Testifying Friday, Pastenes also detailed how after Cox shot and killed Lori's husband, he had a bizarre reaction when she confronted about the accident. I asked him if he was okay after he had just shot someone, she said. I thought he would be like in shock or struggling with what had happened. And he said, Zulema, he was a zombie. Oh, God, no. Oh, my God. Do they make any references to any zombie movies? Pastenes also claimed Lori Vallow would tell friends she was visited by Jesus Christ for allegedly murdering her children, offered a disturbing glimpse of the world of the religious cult she was involved in. She said Alex believed everything Vallow and Daybell told him about possessed people, including light and dark soul, rating scale, and evil spirits. Though she later admitted she now believed Vallow and Chad Daybell made it all up when asked about their outlandish religious zealotry. The damning testimony also saw jurors faced with pages from Pastenes' journal where she detailed how Vallow claimed a possessed person could be dealt with. Pastenes wrote, dispel, burn, cast out, and get rid of them. With binding, another technique. Oh, burn? I mean, that's what happened to Tylee. Binding? Is that what happened to JJ? A hand-drawn diagram was shown in court which purported to illustrate how the spirit of a possessed person would remain in limbo. Pastenes add, Chad claimed he had been the Heavenly Father and Jesus and the Holy Ghost. I was say Holy Ghost. He would have been spiritually the highest of anybody. He had chosen Lori to be his wife, and they had already been 7 times before on this earth. That was his companion, therefore put her in the same spiritual standing. Pastenes said she first met Vallow in 2018 at the home of Melanie Gibb, another close friend of Vallow who testified. Vallow was doing a testimony that she had visitations of angels and that she had visitation of the angel Morani, that she was giving her instructions, and that she was a personal witness of Jesus Christ. Pastenes, a mother of 3, believed that Vallow, who was described as convincing and vivacious, had a very high spiritual standing. If someone is telling the truth about that, I would not be questioning them. I would be believing they're telling the truth because I would never think that someone will lie as something so sacred. No. No. However, when asked about her testimony, if she still believed the legitimacy of the casting, she responded, not anymore. There are 2 children that died, a mother of 5 who died. I would consider that evil now. Pastenes, who said she works as an employment coach, added, wait, she was an employment coach. Oh, come on. She could have helped Chad get a job. She could have helped Lori get a job. These people just wanted the easy way out, but took the hardest way. I don't believe anything they said. They made it all up. I don't believe that Chad, Lori would have the authority to do that castings nor the right intentions. She said that she initially believed they were kind, loving, righteous, and law-abiding. Pastenes added that she would accompany the Vallow to preparing the people conferences, which instructed people how to ready themselves for the apocalypse. Oh my God. Pastenes recalled the first meeting between Daybell and Vallow at one of the events in 2018. Vallow and Daybell chatted at a book stand where he was selling his apocalyptic novels. At first, it was just regular talk, and then it was obvious that Lori was very flirtatious towards him, very giggly, putting him on the moves. Pastenes recalled feeling like a third wheel while present at the other interactions between Daybell and Vallow because their pair were so flirtatious. Pastenes, who occasionally wiped tears after delivering her testimony, said Daybell would claim to have information about her precious lives. In one live, Daybell said that Pastenes was Vallow's daughter and died at the age of 14 after she was R-worded. Vallow would talk about how people were either light or dark, diagrams, evil spirits, casting people away. She said we had to be holding hands in a circle and each of the participants would have a different part to say or do in order to complete it. After that, Vallow began to tell friends another more powerful, more skillful demon had taken over Charles, named Ned. Pastenes said after Ned was removed, an even more powerful demon has possessed Charles' body. Jesus. I don't know, just a lot of crazy shit. Yikes. Zulema was a professional cuddler at one point. You know what? I did hear about I don't remember where I heard that. There's like a guy you can hire that can that will like professionally cuddle you. I forgot where I was reading that. For people who are like lonely or something. Alex had a traumatic brain injury, so at least I can understand how he might fall for some of this. The courtroom artist was amazing. I agree. Zulema created earthquakes. Good lord.
You've seen this exhibit. You have all the pictures of this exhibit. I encourage you to take them back into deliberations and look at them. Upon discovering the raccoon tags, upon reviewing Alex Cox's digital data, law enforcement serves a warrant June 9th, 2020 on Chad Daybell's residence. You remember multiple officers testifying to you of watching Chad Daybell in that front yard, sitting in his car, nervously looking over his shoulder to the location where Tylee was buried. You heard a phone call that morning from Chad and Lori that was recorded. They're searching the property. And you can hear the fear and the guilt in both of their voices. They know what's about to happen.
Fear, probably guilt, I don't know.
On that crime scene, the fire pit.
Hey,
This is how it was
Vicky.
found by law enforcement that day. And you heard testimony, how they removed the debris, they raked it, they sifted that ground, and they found pieces of Tylee Ryan in that fire pit. They found this chain in that fire pit. They found this charm. It's also located on State's Exhibit 6, being worn by Tylee Ryan. Just approximately 30 feet from that fire pit. In the pet cemetery. Again, you saw satellite footage that same day of the disturbance in the ground. You saw how law enforcement, they started their search. They found a dog and a cat. They moved north. They found what they thought might be a human bone. And they continued to dig. And this is what they found. This is what was left of Tylee Ryan. Charred flesh, dismembered. They came back the next day and found this bucket. You heard the testimony of multiple officers talk about how it felt like this ground had concrete or quickcrete in it. It was hard, and they had to finally use the backhoe to pull it off to get to this bucket. And when they finally did, they found this material that was Tylee Ryan. Again, sitting on top of a piece of her skull. That's not the only place they found Tylee Ryan that day, though. They also found pieces of her here, in the shed. You heard how law enforcement searched the shed for tools that could be used in the commission of these crimes. These shovels, this pickaxe, were of particular interest to them. You heard testimony of this pickaxe, how it was taken to the Idaho State Lab. How in the eye of that pickaxe, there was material that looked different than the dirt, so it was separated out. It was tested for DNA. It was tested against the profile of Tylee, and it was Tylee in the eye of the pickaxe. This shovel. You heard how on the back of this the kick plate of that shovel, there was a piece of material that looked like it could be organic material. Again, it was tested for DNA, and it matched to Tylee Ryan. There was blood on the handle, tested, and it matched for Tylee Ryan.
So what do you think might have happened? They try to dismember her or kill her with a shovel pickaxe? Or maybe after murdering her, there's blood all over the perpetrator. Like got on the shovel. Like, what the heck?
You heard testimony of how Agent Doug Hart was the first person to find this piece of ground, a mound. The vegetation was lower. You heard how he'd had training to find clandestine graves. You heard how he put his hand on the ground and felt the seam of the sod that had been removed. That he tried to probe it, and his probe wouldn't go through. And why? Because they found this. Meticulously placed rocks and boards. You heard the testimony of multiple officers about the smell emanating. And they began to see what they thought was a human head. They checked it. There was human hair. Look at this grave. The roots are cut. It's just the right size for JJ Vallow. This was prepared in advance. This was a premeditated murder. The day was dug. JJ was murdered. You heard testimony, again, Lori Vallow handed JJ off to Alex Cox.
I wonder if Tylee had any friends, if she ever like confided in any of her friends that like, hey, my mom's acting weird. Something is up. Like, I wonder if she had any inkling that something bad was either going to happen to her or like her mom was going to be up to something. Like, yeah, I don't know. Because I wonder if Tylee had any inkling or anything like that. Because like maybe when she was handed off to Alex, maybe Tylee, you know, she started struggling because she was like physically struggling against him because she probably knew that like something was going to happen to her. And that's why her death was sounded so violent. Oh, she was homeschooled? They moved so much? She had a few?
Tylee, JJ, and Tammy can't tell us what happened, but their bodies do. You heard testimony about the testing that was done on Tylee. One, they had to do DNA testing just to identify her because she was too broken up and too dismembered. You heard Dr. Christensen and Mr. Halapaska talk about puncture wounds in her pelvis. How those wounds were not the wounds of dismemberment. They're separate wounds in her pelvis.
Hey, Sherry.
JJ Vallow, gagged and bound. Tammy's body, bruises consistent with restraint, homicide by asphyxiation. This is Tylee. Here are the marks talked about by Dr. Christensen and Mr. Halapaska. That's not where she's being dismembered. Mr. Halapaska said those marks are consistent with stabbing. The white bag over JJ's face.
Like, I don't get it. Stabbing. Suffocation. Like, these are horrible ways to die. Why give them such horrible deaths?
The duct tape that blocked his airway. We know how he died. He was asphyxiated. He was bound with duct tape. A 7-year-old boy with special needs.
Hey, Deborah.
Tammy's autopsy. You heard from the medical examiner for the state of Utah. She was exhumed. You heard about the extensive toxology they did. They found nothing. They found nothing in her that would have killed her. Her internals were healthy. Her brain was normal. There was nothing in her body that would have killed her. She had bruises on her arms. Remember, JJ had bruises on his arms too. She had bruises on her arms that the ME stated were consistent with restraint.
And the paramedic that showed up said that like Tammy had like foaming by her mouth, and she thought it was weird.
She was murdered by asphyxiation. We told you this was about money.
Hi,
power,
Susan.
and sex. We talked a lot about religion, but this is not a case about religion. It's about money and power and sex. Let's talk about the money for a minute. Lori learned a lesson with Charles Vallow. The lesson she learned was to make sure you get the money coming to you before you commit the murder. She thought she was going to get the insurance money.
Wait, Alex did? Listen, I hope Alex had a painful freaking death, okay? I hope he did.
She texted Chad about it. I talked to the insurance company. He changed.
Oh, sorry. This is one of the hilarious text messages for Lori. Here it is. Sorry.
Let's talk about the money for a minute. Lori learned a lesson with Charles Vallow.
Mm-hmm.
The lesson she learned was to make sure you get the money coming to you before you commit the murder. She thought she was going to get the insurance money. She texted Chad about it. I talked to the insurance company. He changed it in March, so it was probably Ned. Remember, Ned was one of the other names for Charles before we got rid of him. I'll still get the $4,000 a month. So within a week of killing Charles Vallow, she's already talking about the Social Security she's going to get.
But the $4,000 a month, it's not for her. It's for her kids, right? It's like roughly like $1,900 each for each kid.
It was planned. Tylee Ryan's Social Security.
Yep.
Tylee Ryan started collecting Social Security in June of 2018 when her father died.
Yep.
She collected it monthly. On July 11th, Charles Vallow dies. August 12th through the 20th, I believe the date was August 16th, Lori Vallow changes the deposit on Tylee's Social Security. Tylee was receiving her own money. You heard testimony about her spending habits. She was paying for her Jeep. She bought fast food. She lived like a normal teenager. And then Lori takes that money and starts putting it into her own BBVA account. Because she learned her lesson. She gets the payment on August 28th. September 8th, Tylee dies. She made sure to get the money before she killed Tylee. JJ Vallow. He collects Social Security after Charles Vallow dies. He collects it as a survivor, and she collects it as a parent in care of a survivor. Again, get the money and then commit the murder. Last proof of life for JJ is the first deposit, September 18th, 2019. Days later, JJ is dead and murdered and buried in Chad Daybell's backyard. She made sure to get the money first. She collected multiple payments. By the way, while we're here, let's talk about grand theft. What do you need to find her guilty of grand theft? That she either used deceit to take money that did not belong to her, or that with the intent to possess that money, she took money that did not belong to her. After this date, she has no right to any of this money. She failed to report. What's the amount you need to find for grand theft? It's $1,000. Ladies and gentlemen, if you find between any of these payments and any of these payments that Lori Vallow collected $1,000 that she was not entitled to with the intent to keep it, you must find her guilty of grand theft. There are the benefits of murder. She thought she was getting $1 million from life insurance from Charles. Chad got $430,000 in life insurance from Tammy. From Tylee, she began to collect $1,859 per month in Social Security into her own account. From JJ, $1,951, and as her parent in care, $1,951. Remember Zulema Pastenes' testimony when she asked Lori how they were going to finance this.
Yeah, so that's the $4,000 that she's talking about. It's not even the $4,000 that really goes to her. It goes to her children.
Gathering that she kept talking about. She said, Melanie Boudreaux will take care of us all. Brandon Boudreaux was shot at. Brandon Boudreaux had a life insurance policy.
Also had life insurance.
Money is the motive for murder. Power. Let's talk about religion for 1 second because we've heard a lot about religion.
Wait, 6,000. Hold on. Where'd you get 6,000? I got 4,000. Charles got... Okay, so she thought she was getting 1 million. Charles got 430. From Tylee, she got 1859. From JJ, she got...
From Tylee, she began to collect $1,859 per month in Social Security in her own account. From JJ, $1,951, and as her parent in care, $1,951.
Oh! So she gets... I thought he was just repeating the 1951 number. Wait, so she was getting 6. Got it. Okay. So 1951 JJ, and then also another 1951 for taking care of JJ.
Remember Zulema Pastenes' testimony when she asked Lori how they were going to finance this gathering that she kept talking about. She said, Melanie Boudreaux will take care of us all. Brandon Boudreaux was shot at. Brandon Boudreaux had a life insurance policy. Money is the motive for murder.
Oh, you know what? Because when Tylee turns... I think the reason why they got rid of Tylee first is because when she turns 18, Lori wouldn't have access to the money. Tylee could just be like, nah, Mom, I'm going to reroute it back to my account. And then Tylee will get the money for however long, right? Oh, dude, that's probably why Tylee was murdered first. The moment she turns 18, Lori's not going to have any access to that money. But she was still getting $4,000 for JJ. That's a lot.
Power. Let's talk about religion for 1 second.
Yeah, so maybe after getting rid of Tylee, they're like, you know what? We can actually get away with this. We killed Charles. We killed Tammy. We killed Tylee. What's another one? Let's just throw JJ into the mix too. Because maybe she initially was intending on keeping JJ, and then she's like, fuck it. What's another one? Yeah, Tylee would get the money until she finished college. Yeah, and maybe even more.
Because we've heard a lot about religion. It does not matter what they believed. It matters what they did. They can believe whatever they want. But when they use that to justify homicide, that changes. They used religion as a tool to manipulate others. Lori manipulated Alex Cox through religion. She manipulated Chad through emotional and sexual control. They manipulated their friends through this use of religion.
Oh, I thought they get the Social Security until like the money runs out. Because it's like the money that Charles accrued, right? From all his years of working. Yeah. So however much your parent, your deceased parent, Charles was making like a lot of money. Well, I don't know if he was making a lot of money, like, I know like they were saying he was making like 400, 500K, at least in the past couple of years.
Let's talk about how she groomed Alex Cox. Ladies and gentlemen, you have multiple iCloud conversations in evidence that you can review in deliberations.
What
I
happens
encourage you to
after
do so.
college?
I'm not going to read everything here, but let's look at some of the things Lori said. March 20th, she says to Alex, I'm finding out some great stuff about you. I learned about you. You're going to like it. We can talk about it. How does he respond? Okay, hurry, please. He's eager for the knowledge. She says, we can talk about it tomorrow, hopefully. They move to Rexburg. He's going to go sight in his rifles. Fun. You need the practice. Lori Vallow is telling Alex Cox what to do. In these messages, you never see Alex tell her what to do. He's telling her what to do. She's telling him what to do. They have a conversation about JJ and a boy named Zach.
Oh, okay. Wow, we're actually learning. Well, I feel like I always learn stuff, like true crime stuff. Okay, so benefits for children. This is for Social Security. Who can get the child's benefits? To get benefits, a child must either, a child must have either a parent who is retired or has disability or is entitled to Social Security benefits, a parent who died after having worked long enough in a job where they paid Social Security taxes. Okay, so that would be for Tylee right there and JJ. Your unmarried child can get benefits if they are younger than 18 or between 18 and 19 and a full-time student at an elementary or a secondary school. 18 or older with a disability that began before age 22. So that would be JJ when he became, well, if he would have turned 18. Benefits stop when your child reaches 18 unless that child is a student or has a disability. 3 months before your child's 18th birthday, we'll send a notice letting you know that the benefits will end when your child turns 18. Benefits don't end if your child is a full-time student at an elementary or secondary school, grade 12 or below. If your child is younger than age 19 and still attending elementary or secondary school, it's important to follow the bubble instructions. What about going to college? Wait, so then Tylee would just end at 18 then? I don't know. I don't see another additional clause for like going to college and stuff. I feel like it should continue until the kid goes to college and like finishes. That'd be nice, like after 21. Tylee would protect JJ and would tell someone if he went missing was a strategic killing her first. Yeah, I think they knew that Tylee wouldn't stay quiet if JJ vanished or went anywhere. After college is done, my cousin got survivor benefits. Yeah, after college would be great because then they could go to college and stuff like that and like would help pay. They wanted to continue saying they were protecting the kids. They would have continued to receive their money as long as their bodies were not found. I mean, it's just dumb because these kids have family members. Kids have family members. What, you think moving to a different state, all of a sudden your family is just going to become disinterested in you and not even check up on you? Not send you Christmas gifts or anything like that? That's why they didn't insure the kids, I think, as couldn't claim without declaring the dads. That went for the adults instead. As long as the bodies cannot be found, they will receive money. They could lie to Tylee. Tylee received money from her father that was killed by Joe Ryan.
And he says, my lip sealed. How does she respond? Good boy. Learning more.
Oh, God. Are they talking about Alex? Yeah, okay. Sorry. Let's go back.
Lori said, March 20th, she says to Alex, I'm finding out some great stuff about you. I learned about you. You're going to like it. We can talk about it. How does he respond? Okay, hurry, please. He's eager for the knowledge. She says, we can talk about it tomorrow, hopefully. They move to Rexburg. He's going to go sight in his rifles. Fun. You need the practice. Lori Vallow is telling Alex Cox what to do. In these messages, you never see Alex tell her what to do. He's telling her what to do. She's telling him what to do. They have a conversation about JJ and a boy named Zach. And he says, my lip sealed. How does she respond? Good boy.
God, that's such a cringe response. Good boy. I'm trying to think if that would ever be inappropriate to anyone ever. Good boy. Saying it to your younger brother. Saying it to your child, your son, your husband. Good boy just sounds so weird. It's like you have, I mean, obviously they're dynamic. It's Lori's the one that's in control. Alex is subservient. Oh, God, that is so cringe. oh God. Like if a mom was saying it to a son and was saying like, oh, you're such a good boy, that would be okay. But saying like, good boy, pat on the head, good boy. Oh God. Oof.
Learning more. I'll fill you in the afternoon. Again, she's the conduit of information to Alex. Remember what Alex's wife, Zulema Pastenes, said. He believed all of it. Where does he get it? He gets it from Lori. Why does she give it to him? To justify murder. You heard from Zulema Pastenes. You heard from Melanie Gibb the description about castings, these descriptions of light and dark scales. You heard a lot about it. The only reason it matters is because it's the tool they used to manipulate others. They used it to manipulate Melanie Boudreau. They used it to manipulate Zulema, Melanie Gibb, Alex Cox. Again, who is the common thread here? It's Lori Vallow. We talked about sex in this case, how it was a motive, their affair, how they had to remove obstacles so they could be together. Those conversations often turn sexual. Always talking about their future together, their plan to be together. The conversation on July 14th between Chad and Lori, where he wants to kiss her for hours and it will likely lead to other activities. And she says, likely or luckily? Luckily lead to nakedness. Again, their conversations. He's saying she's incredible. Their mission has barely begun. Her mission has barely begun. As long as it ends with you, it's all good. Wish I could see with you and be cheek to cheek. Lori uses sex to manipulate Chad. And Chad seeks confirmation from Lori repeatedly.
And Chad tried to use religion to manipulate Lori. Oh, God.
July 13th, he's having a conversation with her about when they can spend time together and about Tammy's passing. And at the end, what does he say? Please ask about that. He's asking her to confirm. Why? Because Lori and Chad are driving this together. It's their plan to be together, to get rid of the obstacles. Chad tells Lori that he's been instructed to focus his efforts on Hillary, who you heard from testimony and other places in the iCloud is established as Tylee Ryan. What does Lori say? She doesn't say, you know what, maybe we shouldn't kill my kids. She says, okay, find out her percentage for me and JJ's. And when Chad talks about Tylee's low death percentage, meaning she's close to death.
Oh, this is what I was talking about, the death percentage. Yeah, they were using religion to calculate these death percentages to see how close they were to death or something, and that would justify killing them. Something like that.
Now, JJ needs to follow Amy into the light. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know what it means to go into the light. He's talking about a young boy's death. And he assured JJ that Chad would be there, James would love and take care of his mommy. Because JJ's going to be gone, because he's followed someone in the light. How does she respond? Again, she doesn't say, maybe we shouldn't kill my kids.
Nope.
That is sweet. I miss you desperately.
Oh my God. It's just so sickening how they're like lusting over each other while casually talking about killing the kids, making the kids gone, disappearing them.
She wants these children gone. There's no doubt. She wants these children gone. She is encouraging their murder. July 23rd. She asked Chad, need you to check JJ. When you get home, check Tylee. She's being super sweet and helpful. And she cleaned her room. She got switched. Totally not her. See if she got switched. Again, they're using this religion, even amongst themselves, to justify murder. And she's encouraging it. This isn't fantasy. Those children were found in real life, dead in Chad Daybell's backyard. Again, 7/26/2019.
So wait, if the children were good, she would tell Chad to like investigate, like, okay, well, they did something good, but can you find us out if they did something bad? We need a reason to kill them. Find out if they're turning.
In response to a text from Chad, need you to check JJ. She said he was calm and he watched movies all day, which he would never do. Justification for murder. This isn't JJ. Justification. She's encouraging, she's aiding. This text removes any doubt that they are talking about murder. From Chad to Lori, 7/30/2019. I got the inspiration to go back to my original death percentages that helped us track Charles. Not me, us. Charles, Ned, etc. What happened to Charles? Charles got shot in the chest by Alex Cox. Tammy is very close. So after he's talking about death percentages to track Charles, Tammy is close. They are talking about murdering Tammy. Her percentage has fallen. It is encouraging. And how does she respond? What is the percentage now? And then, what about JJ's too? So on July 30th, she's already planning for JJ to go the same way as Charles, to be murdered. Chad responds, Tammy is at 3, JJ is at 2. Both are being heavily shielded to stop intruder. And what does she say? She doesn't say, maybe we shouldn't kill children. She says, 2 and 3%, not 0.
So she wants them to be at 0 so she can kill them.
She wants the children gone. He says he'll explain when they talk. And this is sexual manipulation. Okay, still feeling hot for you. He's telling her what she wants to hear.
Ew.
And reinforces him with sexual behavior.
Ew.
Again, this is in the iCloud. I encourage you to go look at it. Here, it's a continuation of that conversation. Yes, we might need to release a little steam when we talk. Anyway, this is the chart that checks what percentage of mortals are still in their body. It worked for my wife's friend who died, a real person. My neighbor, a real person. George Bush, Stanley, real people. This isn't fantasy. They're talking about the deaths of real people. This afternoon, Tammy said she felt lightheaded, as if her body and spirit weren't connected. They're talking about Tammy's death. Again, Lori, this is at Lori's initiation. Please check JJ. She's asking him to check for these death percentages. He says JJ is still JJ. Is he at 0 yet?
So basically, through all this bombo jumbo, this is just their way of communicating. Hey, let's kill the kids. Okay, is it time to kill the kids yet? Chad's like, no, not yet. They're at 2 to 3%. Lori's like, are you sure? You sure they're not 0 yet? Are they at 0 yet? This is her basically just telling him, hey, kill the kids now. And Chad's like, oh, I'm not ready yet. You know, I'm stalling a little bit.
August 10th. 6 weeks later, he's dead. August 10th. Is he at 0? She can't wait. Yes, he's at 0. He probably was partly through the veil. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no question what they're talking about. The veil of life and death. They are talking about the death of JJ Vallow. August 10th. Again, Lori initiating this conversation.
Because she wants him gone.
There is a perfectly orchestrated plan to take the children, and we just have to wait for it to be carried out. I feel lost, like I should be doing something to help. Not, I think we shouldn't kill the children. I should be doing something to help for the children to be taken. And Chad tells her, there's a plan. What should I be doing?
Yeah, she keeps telling Chad, do it, do it, do it, but not directly. Directly, but using all this like stupid poetry shit, right? It's like, do it, do it, do it. And Chad's like, oh, not yet, not yet.
What do I need to do to make this happen? That's what Lori's asking. And he tells her she's doing everything right. He said to just keep resolving the telestial issues so you are unencumbered and fully free. Unencumbered by your children, fully.
Chad is just like a omega pathetic simp man.
Free. Think about the money. Think about how Lori would talk about JJ. She saw him as difficult. The same conversation. Chad expresses his love, and Lori says, I can't wait. Literally can't wait. I have no patience. I want you now. Again, she's using sex to reinforce. Chad's telling her what she wants to hear. There's a plan to get rid of these kids. She reinforces him. The next day, Lori says to Chad, I'm so alone without you. It's devastating. He says, we are surrounded by celestial relatives that are simply obstacles. I'm so sick of it. Again, she doesn't say, maybe we shouldn't kill our relatives. Me too. What is it that you really want? Never a hesitation. She wants to move forward with this plan.
Can you imagine during these days of texting Chad, are they at 0 yet? Are they at 0 yet? When are we going to do this? Like when she was texting all this to Chad, as each day passes by, she must have interacted with her kids every single day with JJ, with Tylee. Just interacting with them. Like, oh yeah, everything's fine. Meanwhile, texting their dads, you know, planning it all out. Trying to urge Chad to reach 0%.
They move to Rexburg. Alex Cox sends Lori a text about setting up their Wi-Fi. The password, too many kids. Too many kids. And she says, funny. It would be funny if her children were alive and just rambunctious and hard to deal with. But that's not what it meant. Her children are dead. There were too many kids, and they had to get rid of them. And he says, I can change the password. And she says, we are trying to get to the bottom of what we need to do to eliminate them completely. He mentioned Z's or zombies in the text above. And then again, I'm sure you will be told also, manipulation of Alex Cox with religion. I will provide you this information in the future. 4 days before Tammy is shot at. Big news about Tammy. Please let me know if you're awake and can talk. I love you. Chad goes into this conversation about Tammy being in limbo. There's a demonic entity in her. He goes on, and then what does he say? Please seek a confirmation on this. Why is that important? Because Chad's not going to act without Lori saying so. Seek a confirmation. Not fully sure of the timing for removal, but once her actions verify the differences, I don't want to wait. And he's asking Lori for confirmation on that. Interestingly enough, 2 days after that conversation, Lori texts Melanie Boudreau, I'm really feeling like we need to go to Missouri and work. They go to Missouri.
Okay.
They fly out of Phoenix the morning of the 9th, head to Missouri. So she's gone at the attempted shooting. So she can try to separate herself from the attempted shooting.
Yeah, I feel like she didn't care if Alex, her brother, her own brother, was going to get caught in it. She's like, you know what? I'm going to let him do all the dirty work, and I'm going to go out of town just so I'm not tied to this.
Melanie asks her some questions about the kids
God,
and
what a
about the
piece of
logistics.
shit.
Lori tells her, you need to be unavailable. That's the schedule. And how does Melanie respond? Okay, Captain. Why does she say okay, Captain? Because Lori's in charge. The day of Tammy Daybell's death, she's texting Chad, not fun without you. His wife just died. She didn't just die, she was murdered. And that's why she feels comfortable texting him like this. The next day, she says to him, I'm missing you more. I need you desperately. I can't wait. That same day, he texts her about the Lily workout plan. Remember, Lily is another name for Lori. This is her workout plan for him to get in shape. She says, I love that plan. Not soon enough, though. This is torture. She's moving this along. She's moved this plan along the whole time. Again, just more love text between Chad and Lori. Ladies and gentlemen,
All right,
you
we're
have
almost
your
done.
instructions. You're going to go back and you're going to deliberate. Read them carefully. Consider all the evidence. Look at all the facts. Look at the timeline. Look at the timeline. Charles Vallow, Tylee Ryan, JJ, Tammy, all within a short time frame. How are they tied together? Who could have killed those people? You have Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell, Alex Cox. Who had motive to kill those people? Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell. What is the thread between Alex Cox and Chad Daybell? Lori Vallow. Who benefits from these murders? Lori Vallow gets Tylee's money. She gets JJ's money. She and Chad get Tammy's money. Ladies and gentlemen, the burden is beyond a reasonable doubt. A doubt based on reason and common sense.
But can you just imagine just how greedy that is, though? Getting, what was it, 400K from Tammy's? That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. For you to throw away your kids for, I don't know, $6,000 a month, like you were already getting 400K with Chad, but they wanted more. That's so wild. That's so crazy.
What does your reason and common sense tell you? You've seen what happened to her children.
This is reminding drugs.
She never reported the children missing. She lied and she lied and she lied about where they were. And while she lied, she kept collecting the money. You saw the text between her and Chad. She is moving this plan forward. That's why they moved her expert. She's moving this plan forward. There is no question that Tylee Ryan, JJ Vallow, and Tammy Daybell were murdered. Who is the common thread? Lori Vallow. What does justice for these victims require? It requires a conviction of each and every count. She conspired for Tylee to die and to keep her money.
Yep.
She conspired for JJ to die and to keep his money. She aided and abetted in Tylee's murder. She encouraged it. She aided and abetted and encouraged JJ's murder. She aided and abetted and encouraged, or she conspired, let me repeat that, she conspired and agreed to Tammy Daybell's murder. Look at the timeline. Ladies and gentlemen, go back through the elements. Go back through the evidence.
Oh, thank God they found her guilty. Oh, my goodness. Thank God they found her guilty. Thank God they found Letitia guilty. Thank goodness all these people are going to be locked up forever. Oh, my God. You were just thinking of Lori Ingalls? You're dead. Yeah, if you guys missed the Lori mugshot, I'm going to leave the mugshot here while I use the restroom really quick. This is our mugshot right here. It's just so disgusting at how smug she is. Ugh. That smirk right there. You think she's delusional? What's her height, by the way? Can someone convert this in feet? All right, guys, I'm gonna use the restroom really quick. We're gonna watch a very interesting interview after this. I'm gonna use the restroom, but before I go, guys, if you're new here, feel free to join the Discord. If you enjoyed the stream, hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. And Discord is a community hangout for all of us. We have a true crime channel if you have anything you want to link. Because I can't see the links when my chat is live, but you can post the links in Discord. And then I can click on them through there. I don't know why I can't see the links on here. I don't know. 51055. Wait, those are totally different numbers. 53. I'm Does anyone here know conversions? Did she run out of sweet lipstick and eyebrow pencil? Wait, hold on. I posted this in Discord. I think she had a thing for thin eyebrows. This is Lori back in the day. She got thin. Look at those eyebrows. They're so thin. But, you know, then again, if this picture was taken in like the early 2000s, for some reason, we thought it was cool to make your eyebrows pencil thin. Pencil thin. And unfortunately, I was one of the victims too. I can't even grow my eyebrow hair back. It's all gone. I'm so sad. Yeah, when trends mess you up. All right, guys, have fun with Lori. I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. Blonde extensions? I don't know. She looks like someone that has like voluminous hair. Wait, guys, don't make fun of her wrinkles. Come on, we're all gonna get wrinkles one day. All right, guys. Let me take Laura's picture off. I'm taking Laura's picture off. Hi, Diane. How are you doing today? How are you guys doing today? Before we get on to our next segment, what's going on? You guys have a good weekend? You guys have a good Mother's Day? Lori looks like a perfect extra on Orange is the New Black. I couldn't watch that show. I tried watching it. It was really raunchy. Like, I usually like raunchy stuff, but it was like too raunchy for me. I couldn't get into it. She's going to the real prison now, Normal County. Welcome to the pen, Lori. Yeah, hopefully she'll get years of UTI as well. Mild UTI. We're doing better than Lori. That's good to hear. Ooh, seafood boil weekend. Oh, that sounds good. I love seafood. You know, I can't find a good crawfish place. And I also miss the Maryland blue crabs, but we can't really get them in LA. I don't know why. I feel like no one has them over here. You had a stomach poisoning or stomach flu over the weekend? I feel like I got it from you, Corgi. Maybe I did give it to you. I don't know what was going on last week. Last week was bad. My stomach was messed up for days. First, I had I couldn't work out for a week because my knee started hurting. My lower back was aching a little bit. And then I got this really bad like stomach poisoning or something like that. Luckily, I wasn't vomiting or anything, but it was unsettling. It was very bubbly. I want to see Chad's reaction to the Goddess's new look. Wait, did I show you guys Lori's court appearance where she had like the bright blue shirt on and these bright blue glasses? I'm like, where does she think she's going? She looked like she's trying to go on like a Tinder date or something. Like, showing up to court. Oh, I think I fired it. Yeah, there's Lori right here. Looking like the Hamburglar. I'm like, where does Lori think she's going? She off to a photo shoot or something. Next, she goes in trial for Charles's DP on the table. We all had it last week here too, honey. Bad stomach flu last week at my house too. Oh no. Maybe something's just going around. Yeah, I don't know. It was bad. It was I had it for like I want to say like 3 or 4 days. Two of the days was pretty bad. And then the other 2 days were on the mild side, but it was like bubbly. I don't know. That's hilarious. Those blue glasses. Wait, are the glasses real? I don't know. I have no idea. It might just be for show. I'm all for colorful glasses, though. I love colorful glasses, but I'm just not sure if I was going to a court appearance, you know, for the death of my children, a death of my ex-husband, or actually, no, Charles wasn't included in this one, but I don't know, court appearance for your dead children. Pink lipstick, blue glasses, bright blue shirt. I'm just not quite sure that's I don't know, inappropriate. I mean, I don't know. You might. I feel like usually people tone it down a little bit. You know, you wear like this right here. This would be the look. You know, some like muted brown glasses, but like, where is she trying to go? Blue's Clues Murder Edition. Is this Lori too? Is Lori over here? Bleach, blonde hair, red lipstick, and she out to a photo shoot. That or she's trying to find a new husband amongst the crowd, you know? A hybristophiliac that will fund her commissary, possibly. I've seen those glasses in the 2000s Nickelodeon. Yeah, that's her prison look and style for the future, the brown standard. I'll take buddies where I can get them, though. Wait, what's buddies? Bubble guts? Yeah, I had the bubble guts. It was bad. This one night though, was really bad. I woke up like every 2 hours, and it was just not great, you know? I wish I could take one of the toilets from Japan and bring them home to me. Japan, the toilets are amazing. You have the heated seat warmers. Oh man, it's such luxurious. And the warm water bidet jutting up your butt. Oh, amazing. Ah, I miss the Japanese toilets. I wonder what she'll do in Arizona. The Jolly Rancher look. No, not Chucky. Get a bidet. I have a bidet in my other bathrooms, but the upstairs bathroom, I don't use it anymore because I now have a roommate. My master bathroom, the toilet seat is shaped weird, so I can't just put any bidet on it. The seat is like really weird. It curves funny, but my other toilets are basic toilets. I just don't know why the master one is like all like, I don't know, it's just curved funny, so I can't put a bidet on there. Dude, bidets are life-changing. Oh my God, they're amazing. Your butt just feels so nice and clean. You don't have to you don't have to do the 1,000 wipes of like toilet paper, you know? You couldn't sleep either. Yeah, it was rough, man. And then like the next day I had to go to LAX. I picked up Dennis, right? Dude, LAX was so bad. It was like a whole 3-hour journey. I hate LAX so much. I think I'm going to go to LAX again this week too. I hate LAX. Okay. All right. Anyways, did you guys watch this yet? I want to watch this interview. And the reason why I want to watch this because it's kind of interesting to hear what they had to say about Letitia Stauch, because we don't really know much about Letitia Stauch. I don't know much about Letitia Stauch. All I know is that she brutally murdered her stepson Gannon, and she came up with a bunch of batshit crazy lies. But I listened to a little bit of the beginning from Gannon Stauch's mother, and she talks about Letitia being semi-normal. You know, they had communications, they cared for each other. She trusted Letitia, and she didn't think that Letitia would ever do anything to Gannon. So it's kind of interesting to hear how a seemingly normal person Letitia Stauch used to be. But I say seemingly because, you know, we did hear from Harley Hunt that Letitia was very manipulative. Letitia Stauch would make hints that she was going to kill herself or something or overdose on pills and like fuck with Harley's mind. And then she said that like, oh, this is our last dinner together. And Harley was like crying or something like that. And then all of a sudden the next day, like Letitia never talked about it ever again. Like, I don't know. That is some weird mindfuckery for your kids. You also don't have Punch a Karen to get a toilet paper during the pandemic situation. Honestly, I didn't have any issues with the pandemic stuff. Like, I know there was like the whole toilet paper running out and all that. I don't know. Luckily, like we did have toilet paper shortages. but they would come back in stock, you know? I don't know. Like we didn't like run out or anything like that. That was great. But the thing that was an issue was getting chicken was really hard. People, whenever like new chicken would come in, people would go there and just buy like hordes and hordes of chicken. Oh my God. This one thing that was like so annoying. I was at a grocery store. This woman had a cart, just a cart full of bread, like bread. I'm like, what are you going to do with all that bread? Are you serious? Like she had a cart full of bread. I'm like, how big is your freezer? You know, all that bread is going to go bad. It's going to go moldy. I guess you could freeze it, but how big is your freezer? I don't know. She just had a cart full of bread. It was like, I thought it was so weird. But yeah, anyways. The pandemic was very interesting times indeed. It's crazy. I heard Letitia had to pick her up from the airport and didn't. And on the same day, she got rid of her son. Yes! Letitia was supposed to... So when her son went missing... Gannon's mom was trying to find out more information from Letitia, but Letitia was dodging, was acting weird. And then Gannon's mom was like, well, I'm flying in. So Gannon mom flies in. Letitia was supposed to pick her up, and Letitia does not pick her up. Crazy. You need to trade Steve and Cheryl like Bubba to hunt chickens. Actually, we do have a chicken in our neighborhood that, you know, I would love to have, but the chicken is like he's a free chicken. He's a Roman chicken. He came into our yard once and Shiro tried very, very hard to chase after him and very much failed. It's really funny. I have a video of like the chicken flying up in the air or trying to, Shiro chasing after the chicken and me chasing after Shiro. It's like a whole shit show in our yard. It was really funny. I feel bad for the chicken though, because now he's like scarred. He won't come back into my yard anymore. But yeah. All right, guys, let's watch this interview with Gannon's parents open up after the verdict. First, I believe they interview Landon separately, and then maybe later on they interview Al. Yeah, okay, they do. Yeah, let's listen to this because it's kind of interesting to hear what they had to say about Letitia.
I just want to first start off with reacting to that very impactful victim impact statement that you gave yesterday, where you really poured your heart out, and it seemed like you let out everything that you've possibly been holding in for a long time when it came to the defendant sitting there. Can you talk about how you found the strength to sit there day in and day out in the trial with the defendant just a few feet away?
As you guys know,
Man, she probably wanted to strangle her. Just hop over that bench and just strangle the crap out of this woman.
it was anybody, not just a parent. You would have anger sitting there, especially with someone that is so emotionless.
Hi, Christine.
But Gannon was my reminder. He wouldn't want me to mess up his story. So I feel like I know he was there with me, and I had to get it out. Didn't feel like I needed to practice. I just needed to get it out. And I could have said some harmful things, and that would have taken away from who Gannon is. And so he allowed me to get through it.
Would it have made any difference if the judge had allowed you to address her directly, look at her directly?
Well, I wrote out the paper actually directly to her, and then Claudia, my victim's advocate.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that the judge says that don't say anything directly to her, say it directly to him. And I was like, oh, I feel like usually when I listen to impact statements, it's usually directed at the person who did it.
Lady who was wonderful, she told me, she said, you have to direct it to the judge. So as you probably heard, with my statement, I said you a lot, and then I had Tisha capitalized. And so there was a lot of portions where it was directed her in a way. But I had a lot of emotions, and it was very fluctuable in that time frame. I had anger. I wanted her to hear it. Didn't know if I'd ever have the opportunity to say those things, but at least she heard it. I don't care how she reacts. And I think that's how Gannon would have liked it to be portrayed as well.
You said she was emotionless.
Yes.
Throughout the entire thing. Were you wanting to see something from her?
It would have been nice, but I kind of prepared myself with help of the DA team and victims advocacy and we've all seen the stunts that she's done throughout this thing, so I kind of prepared my thinking for what could possibly happen, what could not possibly happen, and when I seen her within the first week, I felt like, and when Harley got up there, and it was the same way, that's what I knew what it would be to the end. So
you mentioned in your victim impact statement that she had everyone fooled.
She did.
We're talking about her fooling everyone, so many people that were in her sphere. Is there anything, looking back now in retrospect, that you think that's what that was? Any red flag that you can think of now that you know everything that you know?
Yeah, a lot of people were wondering, were there any red flags? Did they know that Letitia was like kind of off her rockers?
When knowing Tisha for quite some time, like she was a friend to me in a sense. She taught with me, so that I couldn't say that there were red flags. There were times where I did not see her in the picture. Normally she was always someone that was always involved. And then there was like a short period where she wasn't. And I was a little concerned, but not to the effect that I ever imagined that any of this would ever have happened. I trusted her.
When you say not involved, you mean not involved with the kids or with communicating with you the way she had?
She wasn't in the picture. It was like she wasn't there, and it went from me talking to her strictly about everything: flights, childcare, school, what their grades are, holidays. We would, if they had them, we would always like interchange, and it just stopped. And so I was a little concerned, but nothing to the impact of what actually happened ever. And I've always kind of looked back and wanted to see if there were signs, and I can't say that there were any. She was someone I trusted. Like I could, when I was in the hospital with my daughter, like we talked on the phone. And
Were they fighting for custody over Gannon? Because I don't know which parent moved, but like did one parent move to like a different state or something, and that's why they were fighting for custody? He's doing his best. A little tiny corky legs and big butt won't let him. True.
it was, and we would even say we loved each other, because we had to get past some things that had happened earlier in our lives, but it was nothing like this, by no means. And Gannon never would have shown it anyways. Like he would always tell me I love everybody, and he would ask to talk to her, and I just don't understand the amount of love that someone could have individually, Gannon, myself, and I know Al, and then she took it for granted. So,
Was there a certain point after you learned he was missing that, well, let me ask you about when you first heard he was missing. Did it cross your mind?
But I think they did have like a custody battle at some point, from my understanding. I don't know. I feel like someone like her is like Two-Faced. It's crazy. None of them say, oh, she's toxic. But I guess maybe her daughter Harley didn't know how to define what she felt with her mom. Yeah, they're going to show him what it's like to be expelled and get hit on the head.
That it could have been Letitia.
oh yeah, right at the first. I received a phone call from Tisha saying that something about Gannon had accidents, and I'm going to fix this. Gannon did not have accidents anymore. He outgrew that. He was on medicines that cause constipation, and he was supposed to take medicines to fix that. And so I just don't understand the misconception of that whole thing.
It sounds like you said that initially when you heard that he was missing that you suspected Letitia.
Yes, because she acted funny. Because I hadn't talked to her. Like that was a time period that she wasn't in the picture, and I hadn't talked to her. And so she called me on Gannon's phone. And through the court process, I was the only one that she called on Gannon's phone. And that really hurts because I knew it was another jab. And I begged her to look for my child on the phone call. I talked to her every 2 hours, and it was just weird. So I'm about a candle. I looked for Gannon, and then she was supposed to pick me up from the airport, her and Harley. We were supposed to do this together. And just the things that just didn't make sense, I was a little off on maybe she had something to do with this, but not to the extent of taking his life. I thought that maybe she had done something to get somebody's attention, to be the hero at the end, but not to take Gannon.
Tell me about what you do to keep Gannon's memory alive, especially for his siblings.
Pictures and videos. So I encourage anybody that has a family member, always capture every moment. I do think my daughter, she's 4, she was 18 months when all of this happened, and she talks about Gannon all the time. And had I not had videos and memories of his voice and just not still videos, she would just have to rely on others. And
yeah, that's really weird. I actually didn't know that she used Gannon's phone. That's so weird. The accident with his stomach was meant to humiliate him. In Letitia's kites, she claimed that she had IBS and had it crap for 15 days. She was using Gannon's real problems. I hope for sure that she really was constipated for that many days.
I have one of our neighborhood representatives in Lorson Ranch. They got us a Build-A-Bear, and it had Gannon's voice in it as well. And so before Nova and Lena, when I have her, they press the button, and he says, I love you so much. So I do that, and then I have a tattoo on my arm of him. Some days I can talk about him, some days I can't, because there is a story with Gannon, his smile, his faithfulness, and just being able to talk about him has changed my life. So I can only imagine what it can do to others, and if it can change one person's perspective of how they think or how they would love their loved ones, it's worth it all to me. So with my journey, you would just have to make sure that you have an open communication and just being involved and just trying to pay attention to every sign. And as I look back, you try to look for signs. But people that are going through custody battles, you have to keep your child in mind. Sometimes we have human reactions. We all get angry when we have children involved or just one child. But what I would do is just make sure that you keep your child involved.
Very, very true.
And then if you can have open communication with the other partner, it's much easier. Because if your best interest is for your children, she's going to thrive, they are going to thrive, your children are going to.
The weirdest things that I hear that parents do is when they use their kids to attack the other parent. That, and then also telling your kid everything about how horrible the other parent is. I think that's so weird. Like basically just trash talking the other parent to your kid.
Going to thrive, and just make sure
Especially
you have
when they're
open line of
young.
communication, not only with that spouse or significant other, but with your children. And to me, to have my daughter to come tell me, I'm having a great day, or, something happened, or if she feels like she's being bullied, which that's only happened once, and it was very minor, she can come tell us. And it was just, she wanted everybody to be her friend, and one person she didn't think was her friend, so she considered it bullying. But her coming to me, it meant a lot, and she does the same thing for her father. And just having faith as well, and just never stop. Your children are worth fighting for. So I guess I would leave it as that. To me, they're a gift from God. You can learn from me.
Yeah, that's why I'm pretty sure 15 days, I'm pretty sure she's definitely exaggerating. Yeah, 15 days of like being clogged and not shitting.
Your children, as much as your children can learn from you.
One real quick question. Is there anything that Letitia could share, information that you want about Gannon, that you think she hasn't shared yet?
I don't really want her to share the process. I think we all know, based upon the timeline, that I think Kevin, I can't remember his last name, Kevin, he made, I think we're very clear of what happened. I think what's left for her to say is, I'm sorry. She doesn't know it to me. She owes it to Gannon. And if she does that, we can start a healing process or forgiveness process. And that's all I want her to do, is just say, I'm sorry. And that's for the world, because there's so many people that are.
I don't think she's ever going to say she's sorry, because she had her chance. I don't think she's ever going to say she's sorry.
Invested their time, their life, their family. That's a simple gesture, 3 words. That's all.
I just mentioned the community here in Colorado Springs, Al. I mean, it's amazing the way that we've seen them come out and support you all as a family. Are there any stories over the past 3.5 years that
This is the father, by the way.
surprise us about how people have shown their support? I know I talked to a woman from Rhode Island who flew in just for the trial, just to support you all. They've had posters and flowers. Anything you can share?
I think based on what the world knows, I don't think there's anything that would surprise the world about this community. From day one, it was a community effort. From the very moment that he was reported missing, as we know now, that wasn't the truth, but in that moment, you saw what the community is capable of. And I have said all along that the thoughts and prayers of those in this community and across the country, and I've even found out around the world, those have sustained us and those have got us through. I don't know, especially in the early days, I don't know where we would have been without the true support of the community. So, and I've said all along that truly was a sustaining factor for me, and then in turn for Lena. I don't want to speak for Lena, but I would assume for her as well, to help us get through those early days. People opening their house, food being delivered, just what you think. So often we hear so many stories of how people are divided through this. This community has been unified, especially our neighborhood. It really started there. I spoke in church one time about driving down one of the main roads adjacent to our neighborhood.
The Fountain?
Well, yeah, so there's Mark Scheffel, but I think it was Powers I was on, which is the next road up, the next main road up. And I happened to be on a hill and I could see my neighborhood. I'd already moved out, but it was like just
Definitely. Al probably feels so guilty. I feel for him.
the blue glow from all the people that had changed their front porch
Yeah, because out of anyone else, he probably blamed himself the most.
lights to the blue lights or whatever. And it just was a signal of a lifeline, a signal of support from the community. And I can't say it enough. Those early days, that's what got us through. Because I don't know if you're a parent, but all the parents that I've come in contact with, they're always so heartfelt and saying, like, I can't imagine what you're going through.
Ray, don't be summoning the devil, okay? We don't need any more demons here. We're dealing with Lori. We're dealing with Chad soon. Just dealt with Letitia. We don't need another demon here. Let the demon say Spain. Hi, Morgan. How are you doing today?
Looking back, I can't understand how we made it through, but for the support of the community and, of course, God sustaining us as well. So,
Talking about those early days, those phone calls, I know you said we didn't even listen to the half of it in court, but hearing you, keeping your composure and talking to her before she was arrested, before she knew that she was under suspicion, but you're still having to tell her she's a good mom. You're still having to say those things to her to try and get as much information. I think all of us were shocked that you were able to get through those calls. Can you take us behind the scenes? What was it like when you hit the mute button? If you were talking to the FBI, what were you using to keep going with those conversations?
So, and I don't want to get too much into the weeds, but there have been other situations of far less gravity than, of course, losing Gannon. There have been other situations throughout our relationship where I had to, do a similar thing where, hey, something might have happened, something fairly inconsequential, but, had to get to the bottom of something. And I think she referenced that as one of those phone calls is like, you're always playing FBI agent or something, not knowing I was actually sitting there with the FBI, of course. But so, yeah, kind of, as I testified to, kind of staying in character of FBI agent or however you want to look at it. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough not to lose my cool. I did say a few things I'm not proud of in those moments. And I asked for forgiveness, to people that had to hear it. They're like giving me the grace considering the circumstance. But it is a little humbling to hear some of the things I said in the moment. But considering what was going on, I am thankful that I was able to keep my cool.
Wait, that was Dr. Lewis, wasn't it? But they had their kites rolls, their eyes, and think she can wait. Wait, what about Dr. Lewis? Why are we talking about Dr. Lewis now? We didn't hear half the calls. The calls were so excruciatingly, painfully long. And there were more blue face, white face, blue face, white eyes, blue face, white eyes.
Because I feel like it was
like
there was kernels of truth of what we found out later. some things that she mentioned in those phone calls that turned out to be, good hard evidence. So when I speak about people questioning me, I might not have been out there arm in arm with some of the people searching through the fields and stuff like that. I did a little bit of that, but my role, as I said in my statement, was trying to get into her mind and just any part I could help and get knowledge of really where Gannon was. That's all that mattered. At that point, we just wanted to find him, and that was my goal. And that helped me as well, focusing on that Gannon was the focus of it.
When it was weeks later, did you still have hope that you would still find him alive? And what were some of the scenarios, knowing that you hadn't seen him? Letitia seemed to not be sharing any good information at the time. Did you have scenarios about what you hoped was the reality?
So draw on a few different specific things that happened. And I don't want to answer a question with a question, but I think the world heard the judge say, and I already answered another question with this, one of the very first phone calls, I was asked, I think it came through in a text from Tisha about they're asking for his dental records. So that was like day 0 or day 1, however you want to phrase it, that they're already asking for some way to identify him. So yes, I kept hope until the moment I was notified that they found his body and his remains in Florida. I kept hope alive. But also then that moment when they asked to bring the toothbrush and a shoe or article of clothing, whatever it happened to be, I don't remember, but I remember the toothbrush specifically. That was monumental. And I don't think we got to hear this in the trial, but the reason I took the toothbrush down was because that capital F again. I'm the dad, I'm the father, I'm going to go down and take this down. I think they asked her to actually take it down, and I took it from her or asked her to give it to me. Nothing confrontational, was that I'm going to take this down because I want to be at the front of whatever's going on to find this little boy. And then I talk about hope. I asked his mom, she was going to the store that day or the next day. I said, hey, why don't you go buy another toothbrush so that when Gannon comes home, he has a toothbrush.
Oh.
It's a little bit behind the scenes, but yeah, that is. I think I had a feeling the entire time, but there was always that hope. You never lose hope, right?
Absolutely. Was there ever a moment where you hoped that she was telling the truth or felt like she actually was telling the truth? Because it seemed that she was off top a suspect, that there wasn't really anyone else that was being looked for other than the names that she was throwing out there. But if I can back it up just a bit, because I know you mentioned that you've had to have those phone calls with her on other non-consequential things. Were there any red flags with her that you see now, looking back at your life with her as your wife?
So I'm going to say, so you asked 2 questions, and I'm not trying to go back to court here, but first one was about when I first knew and talk about being the suspect. So the suspect part, I'm going to leave that to the authorities. That's their lane. I think I was pretty clear in both my testimony and my statement that when I went to look for that Volkswagen Tiguan at the school where she told me it was, that was really the point in time when it shifted for me, wholeheartedly shifted. And then from there, I think you know the rest of the story, but that's really when it shifted for me. I already answered the red flag question too in a different way, but I go, I won't say moment by moment, but each and every day, I don't leave things undone. I don't leave stones unturned. And if I can't get to it today, then I'm going to get to it tomorrow. And some people confuse that for me being a little bit too type A sometimes. But as you talk about red flags, I don't have any regrets about that relationship. I think I was clear that relationship also was coming to an end. And you take that for whatever it means. But nothing that ever happened in that relationship or my relationship with Gannon's mom equals a dead child. So people, and I understand people like to do that, ask about red flags, and I'm not dogging you. That's a great question. But I'm not going to rip myself apart because somebody murdered my child. Nothing that happened in my entire life equals that little boy getting that treatment. So
absolutely. And in no way would that have put any blame on you, and didn't intend that with that question, because sure. I think it's natural for people to want to figure out why when something this devastating happens. Sure. I know that must be a question.
Yeah, it's probably because he got that question so many times. Red flags, red flags. Oh, it's your fault. You didn't pick up the red flags, so.
Question for you all as well. I want to ask you a question that we also get from sure. people who are watching this about trust. Because we did speak to Landon earlier today, and she said it'd be very difficult for her to ever trust someone again. And we saw you and your beautiful wife there giving those victim impact statements yesterday, and it's so wonderful to see that you all have this new family unit. And you told Letitia that you weren't the glue. Can you talk about?
I hope the new girlfriend, I hope she a good woman. Oh my God. I hope she's a good woman, good wife, good mother to their daughter. Oh, I hope she's a good person.
For those who may be going through something similar, or they watch this and their trust is diminished a bit, how did you build that trust up again if you felt like you lost it in people?
I think we put the blame when the blame's due. First of all, I think the trust was ripped away by a specific person.
Mm-hmm. True. I think with victims, it's sadly common to get blamed for not being careful. Here's the thing. I think there's no point in trying to blame the victims unless we have evidence that they were being negligent too, that they were ignoring the signs, that they didn't give a shit that, their kid was being mistreated by a step parent. If we have like evidence and stuff like that, then yeah, let's go for it. Let's rip them to shreds. But if we don't, it's like, well, why place blame on someone if you're not even sure, right? You're just thinking worst case scenario.
So for me to take that out on the rest of the world is unjust and unfair, first of all. Second of all, chance to share a little bit of our story. I met my wife through tragedy in both of our lives. So when you talk about trust from...
Yeah, I heard that she lost, did she lose a kid too? What happened with her?
What other way could I trust a person? And I had those same questions. How can I ever get into a long-term serious relationship again? Would I be able to? Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. Then along comes my way someone who's also lost a child in a tragic fashion. So I think that answers the question for itself. That
what happened to her?
And I understand the level of trust and the level of difficulty it would be to develop a new relationship considering what we've been through. And I just will sum it up with our motto, which is through tragedy we will triumph, and we are. Every single day. She brings joy into my life, and we are winning.
You showed a picture during your victim impact statements of Gannon holding the sign that said, I think I am a future soldier. What were some of the traits and characteristics that you saw in him already at 11 that you know would have been in him as an adult?
Oh, I think he just had a heart for people. And one theme, and I've carried that into my family now, but kindness. Just love and kindness is something that I tried to instill into Gannon and Lena at a very early age. And most of that was directed toward one another. I basically mandated that they be together coming home from the school bus or whatever situation, but just so that they'd understand the importance of people. I think the carpet incident is a great example of how I knew that was just, lack of a better word, a bunch of crap. Because my children knew that people are the most important thing to me. We can get new carpet, we can get new games, we can get new houses. We can't get new people. And that's something I said to them often, and I say it still to my family today. The way we treat one another is what defines us, and that was a defining characteristic of Gannon. And I don't think he would have changed much. Yeah, he would have gone through his teenage and junior high years that we talked about. That everybody goes through that, but his demeanor was just of love and kindness. And I think coming from a father, you'd expect that, but I think you've heard enough from the rest of the world that knew him to corroborate what I'm saying. So
I loved how you talked about the changes in what he called you, and how that does change as we get older, and it would have come full circle again.
Lena got her head beat into a wall, told Al. Oh, when was that brought up? Al believed Tisha. An ambush cannot be avoided. Victims are most really often victimized. I believe only have heard about her losing a child, so they related to each other. Yeah, because I don't know. He said similar thing happened. So it was like, was her kid also murdered by a significant other?
One of my last questions has to do with something you also said in your victim impact statements about what you don't know and what the defendant has never shared, and that's your son's last words. Can you talk about that, and also what else, if anything, you wish she would share, even though I understand you want to be as far disconnected from her as possible?
So I think through life experiences, and I think a lot of us can understand this,
His new wife's name is Melissa. I don't know what the last name is.
Accepted the fact that there's some things I may never know, and she may never share, such as the truth, such as what she actually did. I think the judge spoke about the possible order of events. Anyone connected to this case directly, I would assume, and I know I have, played that in my mind, how it happened, what happened, his last breath, his final words. I think it's safe to assume I may never get that information. So once again, back to the poem I referenced, that I am the captain of my soul. Do I let that poison my soul that I'll never know what my son's last words were, or how he took his last breath, or those things? No. I would not be the man I claim to be if I let that ruin me. Do I want to know? Absolutely. Does it weigh me down? I think it comes in waves.
Yeah, what did you hear that from? I don't know. I'm trying to Google it right now. I don't see anything. Was it like in one of the testimonies?
But I won't let it control me and overtake me. I expect to never talk to her again. I expect to never get those answers, whether she gives it to me or anyone. I think her demeanor kind of shows that she's not really remorseful, as the judge said. So, yeah, I think that's where I'm at with it, and that's where we're going to be.
The last one has to do with what may come next. You've mentioned it, that you don't really want to have anything to do with her, and we understand from her attorney she plans to appeal. Is that something you won't be paying attention to at all, or showing up for if it does go to court again?
She's planning to appeal. Oh, man. Laura's like, oh, my God, get us off this case. We're done. They got to do their jobs.
I think we'll cross that bridge when we get there. This was enough for me, just from the emotions and the weight of it, but also for the result. She has every right to appeal and every right to do how she sees fit moving forward. But the judge said the mountain of evidence is equal to Mount Everest, and I think that, for me, is what I needed to hear. I knew that, but to hear the judge say it and the jury's decision, I think I'm at peace with where we're at. So I may or may not. I don't know. Like I said, cross that bridge when we get.
Yeah, I'm Googling around. I haven't found anything with Letitia Stauch beating Lena into the wall or anything like that. I don't see that anywhere. You sure it's true? here. I felt like that would have made huge news if she was also abusing the other kid.
Can I get you to say whatever you'd like about Judge Werner? Because I know you keep referencing his statements there at the end. Anything you want to say just about him as a officiant over this process?
I am overly pleased with his fairness. As of it, I tried to be as objective as possible and kind of take myself out of the emotions of it. And if there was an objection from one side or the other, I tried to reason through it, with objectivity, of course. And I think he did about as fair a job as a judge could do. Never been through this, so I have nothing to compare it to, but I'm very pleased because if you followed the case, there was objections and different arguments on both sides, and it never seemed that he was partial one way or the other from my perspective. So I'm very happy with it.
Judge Greg Werner, he did a good job. Murdered minister trial verdict. Who is this? What else is going on in the true crime land? True crime land. Oh, one that's happening right now. It's like the OnlyFans stalker. Oh God. Lawyer murders mother trial. Haven't heard of that one. Murdered minister trial. I haven't heard of this one. We watched this already. I talked about that briefly. Oh God, look what they resurrected, guys. Look at who they resurrected. Look at this line right here. We got Letitia, we got Jody, we got Lori. Oh no. All in the same row. Oh God. The minister was a super fast verdict. You love Judge Werner. It's been 3 years now. Yeah. If you find it, send it over to me. Did anyone hear about a Florida man who threw a gator on a roof to teach it a lesson? Wait, he threw a gator on a roof? What kind of lesson did he think he was going to teach the gator? A rogue gallery of murder risks. Have you heard about the mother who wrote a children book, but apparently they think she killed him? Yes. Wait, didn't she write a book about this actually reminds me of this other case. There was a trial about this woman who wrote the How to Murder Your Husband book, and then she was on trial for murdering her husband. Oh God. But I did hear about that. It's not law and crime. Law and crime. Jesus. Oh, this is the mugshot. Lori Vallow dons pigtail hairstyle as a new mugshot after triple murder conviction. With a little smirk. I hope all her hair falls out. All right, Jesus. Hold on, you guys might want to close your eyes. Usually if you scroll through law and crime, there's some really horrible things on here. What am I looking for? Wait, what is this? Jesus. Oh, it's a fake rubber stomach. I'm trying to find the book one. Yeah, this is like some horrible stuff. Every time I scroll through here, it's so bad. Oh, minister murder. Okay. What's the minister murder? I'm actually kind of curious. Brandon Castellone, 28, very young. Is accused of shooting and killing 6-year-old Luis Garcia. Was a pastor. Shot the pastor in the neck in his home. Why? The two used to pray together. Wait, do you guys know what happened to the ice cream man murder trial? That one was kind of weird. It was about this guy who was an ice cream man. Apparently he got jumped, went to the hospital, and when he got out, I think a couple of months later after he recovered, he suspected it was a gang of this Hispanic family, I guess. and he went up there and like shot and killed like a bunch of them. And I think they did like a retrial, didn't they? Whatever happened to that guy? I forgot all about him. What happened to the ice cream dude? Was he found guilty or not guilty? And I think the thing was that apparently the people that he shot may have not even been the same people that like jumped and robbed him. Corey Richens. Oh, that's who we were looking up. Sorry. Oh, he was found guilty. And did he even kill the right people? Or did he target the wrong people? I remember reading that it said that like he might have not even gotten the right people. It wasn't the same people. What a fucking idiot. Jesus. Murder innocent people for no reason. Oh, dude, this one is so cringe. This is the guy who was stalking the OnlyFans girl. He like broke into her house, lived in her attic, had like cups of urine everywhere, had food. He would come down at night, take pictures of her. Oh, God. I love you, Rachel. God, what a loser. Last week, the victim in the case testified about the relationship she and Guerrero had. She claimed that she didn't remember a lot, but did admit to leading him on. Guerrero also took the stand. Like, here's the thing. The dumb thing that she did was she gave this dude, this random ass person on the internet, her address, okay? Oh, guys, please don't give random people on the internet your address. She gave him his address because he was going to send her a TV and a fireplace. A TV and a fireplace is not worth it, okay? Having some possible creeper know your address for a TV and a fireplace is not worth it. Did they have sex? No, I don't believe so. I don't think they had a relationship at all. It was just her probably getting money from him. Ugh. Okay, sorry. Oh, I heard about that. Ew. I did. Oh, that's gross, believe. That's so traumatizing. Eesh. Oh, this one in Verdict Watch. Back tomorrow. That guy had a bad obsession. Her testimony was so sad given she had a kid. Who? The OnlyFans girl? Yeah, that's so creepy. But I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm confident that he's probably not gonna be in prison for that long. What is he gonna get? Like 5 to 10 years, maybe? If it's his first time. And then what does he do when he gets out? He'll probably might stalk her again. I don't know. Like, cases like this are very scary for the victims. Because, yeah, they might go to prison and shit, but, dude, the moment they get out, I don't know. You always have to watch her back. The minister's trial was found guilty after 2 hours. It says in the headline that consensual sex. Wait, she actually met up with him? Oh, I don't know. I didn't hear about that. Maybe. After this Oklahoma case, they don't get enough time. He can get up to 7 years for each count, and there's 4 counts. I mean, I don't know if he'll get the max, so 28 years for being at someone's house and stalking them. I feel like he'll get like 5 or 7 years. I don't know. That's what I'm banking on. Okay, so we're looking up the book lady. I'm sorry, we got completely sidetracked. The book lady. What was her name? Someone put it in the chat. Ooh. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Lena's police report summary mentioned that Tisha Devin hurt her. Yeah, because I felt like if that would be like all over the news that Tisha also abused another kid. The guy was crazy and got a ton of charges for the alligator abuse. What? Put an alligator on the roof? Oh yeah, the alligator's gonna remember this. That'll teach it. Oh, sorry, their name is Corey Richens. Okay. Corey Richens. Corey Richens threw party after allegedly killing husband. Is that true? Let me look her up in Law and Crime. Corey Richens. Is she on here? This is from... Oh, she's like young. March 2022, it seemed that a father to 3 sons had died unexpectedly at the age of 39 in Utah. After drinking a Moscow Mule, his wife made him in bed. More than a year later, the wife is accused of murdering him with fentanyl that she described as some of the Michael Jackson stuff when requesting it from an acquaintance. Wait, it's called... Why do they refer to the Michael Jackson stuff? I've never heard of that reference before. Jesus, according to the warrant in support of her arrest. Oh, God, do we want to read the warrant? I love reading arrest warrants. Oh, it's only 4 pages long. Jesus. On March 4, 2022, at 3:22 hours, the sheriff's deputies, EMS staff responded to blah, 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 to an unresponsive male. When they arrived, they found Eric Richens on the floor at the foot of the bed. Life-saving measures were attempted, but Eric was declared deceased. During interviews with the deceased wife, the defendant, Corey Richens, she stated that around 2100 hours on March 3rd, she and Eric were celebrating the defendant's closing on a house for her business. Defendant stated that she had made Eric a Moscow Mule in the kitchen and brought it to their bedroom where Eric consumed it while sitting in bed. Why would she admit to this? Why would she self-snitch? Wouldn't she just be like, oh, I don't know, he made a Moscow Mule for himself? She self-snitch. Good. The only people in the house were defendant, and they have children. Oh my God. How many children do they have, and how old are they? Defendant stated she went to bed and shortly after went to sleep with one of the children in the children's bedroom because the child was having a night terror. Defendant said she woke around 3 a.m. Nah, you know she woke up at 3 a.m. to check to see if her husband was probably dead. Okay, she probably woke up and was like, yeah. Allegedly. Came back to her at Eric's bedroom. She felt Eric and he was cold to the touch. That is when a defendant called 911. Defendant told law enforcement that when she left her room to go to her child's room, she left her phone plugged in next to her bed and did not take it to her child's room. That makes sense. However, between when the defendant said she went to the child's room and when she called 911, the status on her phone shows that it was locked and unlocked multiple times, and there was also movement recorded on the phone. Okay, maybe there's an explanation from that. Maybe she saw the dead body unlocked the phone multiple times. She freaked out. She tried to do CPR. In addition, tolls on defendant's phone show that messages were sent and received during that time. The messages were deleted. Are people dumb? Did they not know that they can now find out which messages were deleted and stuff like that? Oh my God. Thank God they are dumb. Following an autopsy and pursuant to toxicology findings from the autopsy, it was determined that Eric died from overdose of fentanyl. They found the levels of fentanyl in Eric's system were approximately 5 times the lethal dosage. The OME state, dude, they're gonna... I wonder if they found the person that she brought the drug from. Oh, man. There has to be some other witnesses. Fentanyl in Eric's system was illicit fentanyl and not medical-grade fentanyl. It was also opinion of the OME after evaluating Eric's gastric fluid contents that the fentanyl in Eric's body was ingested orally. Yikes. They got a search warrant from Eric and the defendant's residence. During the search of that search warrant, defendant's phone and several computers were seized as evidence. Oh no, are they going to find some Google history searches? Oh, Jesus. Let's see. Warrants were obtained for all the electronic devices. Information was downloaded. Defendant's phone, several communication between the defendant. CL was identified as an acquaintance of the defendant. Oh no, here's a witness. The police record check of CL revealed multiple counts of possession of controlled substance with intent to distribute. Possession of controlled substance. Wait, what was her motive? What was her motive? Why did she do this? Who has the spoiler alerts? Why would she do this? Life insurance? I believe she got in a fight with the sister after his death, and she accused her of the murder. Oh. Detectives interviewed CL. CL told detectives that sometime between December 2021 and 2022, defendant contacted CL via text message. Do you think this is like an ex-boyfriend? And asked if the CL can get defendant some prescription pain medication for an investor who had a back injury. Within days, CL procured hydrocodone pills from a dealer. Defendant told CL to leave the pills at the house. Defendant was flipping in midway. CL left pills at the house and defendant left cash for CL. It was determined that this house was owned by the defendant in December 2021 and Jan 2022. About 2 weeks later, defendant contacted CL again and said that her investor wanted something stronger and asked for the Michael Jackson stuff. Defendant asked specifically for fentanyl. CL contacted a dealer in Ogden in February 11, 2022 and procured 15 to 30 fentanyl pills from that dealer. Defendant came to CL's home in Heber and CL delivered the pills to defendant. Received 900 for those pills. 3 days later, Eric and the defendant had a Valentine's Day dinner at their Kama's home. Shortly after the dinner, Eric became very ill. Eric believed he had been poisoned. Eric told a friend that he thought his wife was trying to poison him. What? Oh, dude, that's so crazy that he would have thought of this. There must have been something really rocky going on in their relationship. Because, like, you know, when I get sick, when I get food poisoning, I'm not like, oh my God, I got poisoned by Dennis. I'm just like, oh, dude, I fucking fucked up and ate something. Man, someone didn't wash their hands. I'm probably eating someone's dookie right now. Life insurance. Oh, no, oh, no. Charles changed life insurance, but didn't tell her. Oh, no. Oh, these people need a request for a copy of the life insurance policy before they just off their significant others. God. For money. She looks young as hell, okay? She looks young. She looks like she can work. Where's she at? She's young. She can work. You don't need $2 million. $2 million ain't even much anyways. That money goes bye-bye real quick, okay? 2 weeks later, defendant contacts CO again asking for another $900 of fentanyl pills. Oh, the reason why she gave him such a lethal dose is because she probably tried to poison him and she's like, fuck, that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. Now I got to make sure I overkill him. Otherwise, he's going to become really suspicious. CL contacted the Ogden dealer again, procured the pills. Defendant told CL to leave the pills at the outdoor fire pit of the Midway house where there was cash waiting. 6 days later, March 4th, Eric was found dead of a fentanyl overdose. Oh, God. What a waste. What a waste. Is there anything else on there? Moscow Mule. How old are their kids? Did she have like a side piece on the side or something like that? Was she trying to leave her husband for someone else? Oh, should we read his obituary? He's survived by his 3 incredible sons, Carter, Ashton, and Weston. Ooh, take this out. Same thing with the Maggie Murdoch one. Maggie has like her loving husband, Alex Murdoch. They need to update her obituary and get out Alex Murdoch. Oh, this happened like last year. See, he was religious. He spoke Spanish fluently, has business acumen, adventurous, likes to travel, athlete, loves sports. I don't know, like what a waste. Now these kids don't have a parent, you know? And if the mom gets convicted, they're gonna have no parents. The book is strange too. What's the book? Corky, there was a prenup signed that if they got divorced, she would get none of the money. But if he died while married, she got everything. Money is not everything, okay? These people are so stupid and greedy. There's more to life than money. And she's young. She can earn her own money. Like, there's no need to be killing. As for Corey, she publicly went on to write a book, ostensibly to help her kids, as well as other children, better understand and cope with the loss of a loved one. On Amazon, Corey Richard's book, Are You With Me?, is billed as a heartwarming, reassuring, must-read for parents or for children who have experienced the pain of loss. So she understands how painful this is for the children. And for parents who want to provide the children the emotional support they need to heal and grow. Wherever you go, whoever you become, the love remains with you. A heartwarming and reassuring book that gently guides children through difficult experience. So she knows of losing a loved one. Written by a loving mother who personally faces challenge. Oh no. If all this is true, this is such BS. Oh my God. She had the audacity to write this book after allegedly murdering her child or her husband. This book is designed to offer comfort and solace to young minds in a way that is both accessible and engaging. Is the book still up there, or did Amazon take it down? With vibrant and colorful illustrations, Are You With Me follows the story of a child who lost their father, but is reminded that his presence still exists all around them, just like the angel watching over them. Whether it's a child at the park or simply enjoying a quiet moment at home, the child is comforted by the knowledge that their father is always by their side. I mean, it sounds like a really sweet and cute book, but damn, once you realize the real lore behind it, yikes. When does she stand trial? Is she in trial right now? It was a creepy book. Oh, what was creepy about it? Are there excerpts anywhere, Jeannie? Do you know? Richards touted her book on ABC's For Good Things Utah in a segment as recent as April that described her as an incredible mother. She said, so my husband passed away unexpectedly last year. It's March 4. It's our 1-year anniversary for us. He was 39. It completely took us all by shock. And we have 3 little boys. No, 10, 9, and 6. No. My kids and I wrote this book. Dude, this is going to be so... If it's true that she did murder her husband, dude, this is going to be such a mindfuck for her kids. Such a mindfuck. You're on a journey. You're healing the death of your parent unexpectedly. How are you healing? You're helping your mom write this book to get over it. Well, not get over it, but to heal, right? Get through this trauma together. And then if your mom gets convicted and you realize that your mom was the one that murdered the dad, oh my God, this is so bad. My kids and I wrote this book on a different emotions and grieving process that we've experienced the last year, hoping that it can help other kids, with this and, find happiness some other way. Richard said the book was a way to learn not only to grieve as a widow, but as a wife, but also as the parent who must answer her kids' questions about what happened to their father. She discussed the 3 C's: connection, continuity, and care. So you actually wrote this book with your children? Richards was asked. She answered, I did. I just wanted some story to read my kids at night. She added, I took some things that my kids have said to me in the last year, and we kind of articulated and put it into a story. There have been other cases where an author's work went on to read in a different light after the death of someone else. This time, though, the book wasn't written until after the fact. Watch the interview below. Oh, is this the book? Oh, this is the book. The book? The book?
What are y'all doing sitting indoors? There's so much.
Oh, God. All right, let's see the book. What if OJ's kid helped him write his book? I mean, OJ did write a book. A book? Dude, every time I hear a book now, I always think of, Amber Heard's voice. A book? A book? You're gonna write a book? Kind of like the brand new trauma-free kids. Okay. Let's check out this book. Where is she? Oh, that's her right there. Wait, why is she dressed like this for an interview? I mean, she's dressed great, but she's like I don't know. I feel like it's kind of weird that she's wearing a jacket.
A tricky subject. Joining us now is author of Are You With Me, Corey Richens, to share her 3 C's to helping kids cope with grief. And Corey, I want to start with your story. What happened in your personal life?
So my husband passed away unexpectedly last year. So it's March 4th was a 1-year anniversary for us. And
dude, we're doing a lot of, listen, I'm not a body language expert, but I love analyzing. Okay, I'm like, is there any sense of sadness, any sense of grief in there? Or is she talking about it casually? She's like, yeah, I got away with it, y'all. Let's do it.
He was 39. It completely took us all by shock. And we have 3 little boys, 10, 9, and 6. And, my kids and I kind of wrote this book on the different emotions and grieving processes that we've experienced last year, and hoping that it can kind of help other kids deal with this. And
she's She's young. Husband's like 39. She's 30. She killed when she was like 32 then. Jesus, she's 33 years old. You know, I know to some of you guys, maybe 33 is not young, but 33, you still have your whole life ahead of you. Your life, your kid's life. There's so much more that you can do. Okay, I don't want to listen to her bullshit. That's her right there. Warren said that Corey learned that she had been cut out of the will during the gathering at a family home March 5th, the day after Eric's death. Oh, God. I wish we could see the look on her face. The couple had disagreed about a $2 million home and that Corey, a realtor, wanted to purchase. Warren states she wanted to flip it, but Eric thought it was too expensive. Family members told the police Eric was going to tell Corey they weren't buying the home, but it was the very purchase Corey herself told investigators the couples were celebrating the night he died. Corey closed on the home the day after Eric's death. The same day she invited friends over for what a search warrant called a large party at her home where she was drinking and celebrating. What? The warrant goes on to say wait, hold on. I read the warrant. Wait, what warrant is this? Did I not read this warrant? What is this warrant? What? The warrant goes on to say she assaulted Eric's sister who showed up at the home. Up until that point, according to the family, Corey had no idea she's been replaced in the will. And Eric's sister was put in charge of his estate, including the home, which made her financially unstable. On March 28th, a few weeks after Corey's death, Corey sued Eric's sister for control over his estate. She claimed their prenuptial agreement entitles her to the money, family home, and other assets. Eric's sister's response to Corey's lawsuit mentions a pending homicide case. It remains to be seen how a criminal case will affect the civil proceedings, but Utah does have a so-called Slayer Statute, which prevents killers from profiting from their crimes. Oh no, she did all this for no reason. Oh, this right here. Okay. Oh, I did read this. Sorry, did I skip through it? No, I did read this. Where did it say that she hit the sister-in-law? I didn't see it on here. Where are they getting their shit from? Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Now I'm like interested in this. Sorry, we're going down like a little mini rabbit hole. The Utah mom accused of killing her husband for writing a book about the grief allegedly threw a mass party at her brand new $2 million home the day after he died. I need to see footages of this party. What was this party like? She invited friends on the 10-acre property for drinking and celebrating just hours after she allegedly slipped her husband a lethal dose of fentanyl. The party toasted Richens for closing in on the 22,000 square foot unfinished home in Heber City early the same day. It was a property that she dreamed of flipping, but for which her husband refused to pay the hefty price tag. The two argued over the home, rumored by locals to be a cursed money pit, in the weeks leading up to his demise. Though his body was found at 3 a.m. on March 4th, the day after the poisoning, it wasn't clear the partygoers knew that he was dead. Oh my God. Prosecutors believe the mother of three poisoned Eric and attempted to get his money from the life insurance policy the same day he told her they would not be buying the mansion, that he was cutting her out of his will. Oh, what is up with these people just taking what's not theirs? You're young. You're a real estate agent. You can work. You're fine. Even if you divorce, you would probably get, I don't know, probably maybe alimony for your kids, right? Oh my God. This is so crazy. Is this an old case? It's a pending one. She allegedly murdered her husband a year ago and they just arrested her. Jesus. Well, yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on this. Did you guys hear about the one where the this Asian woman? Wait, is that his home already? This Asian woman fucking tries to murder her husband. in Irvine, pretty close to me. And she was putting Drano in his like honey herbal lemon tea. And then when she got caught, she was like, "Oh, I wasn't trying to kill him. You see, what happened was we normally put Drano in a cup to kill the ants around here. Yeah. It just happened to be poured into my husband's teacup, and I don't know what happened from there. But they had footage of her handing the cup to her husband." Entitled behavior. Oh, God. Hi, Snow Owl. How are you doing today? How's it going? Hello. Yeah, I was actually just watching the news about the whole fentanyl crisis was it in Portland? Or actually, maybe it's in LA. Might be in LA. Yeah, like people are just dying from just like fentanyl overdoses. Yeesh. They're investigating this whole year, but she didn't know. God, well, I'm glad that I hope take her to trial, and we'll see what happens. But for now, it's all alleged, right? When the police arrived, she claimed that her and Eric were celebrating. The day of the party, Eric's sisters reportedly went to the couple's home based in Kamas, just outside of Park City, began threatening and verbally accosting Corey. Dude, he must have changed the will over to the sister. And then he was probably telling them, like, hey, I think she's coming after me. I think she's trying to poison me. Like, I don't know. He must have been like keeping them in the loop. Damn. Richards put the mansion back on the market just 2 weeks later, trying to make more than double her money by flipping it for $5 million. What? Hold on a second. Okay, sorry, I was on hold really quick. Wait, what? Second. It's so weird how I made an appointment to go see a gyno, and then they're calling me now to make sure that I'm in network. It's like I made this appointment like a month and a half ago. I asked you guys if I was in network. You guys were like, "Yeah, you're in network. You're fine." It's like, what happens if I realize that I'm not in network? It's like I waited a month and a half for this stupid appointment. Sorry, I'm just raging right now. Sorry. Yeah, I was on hold. I was on the phone call. See, I'm gonna send her my insurance card. I don't know. You would think they would just be like, I don't know, wouldn't you be on top of this? Because they wouldn't want someone to cancel last minute too, right? Like the moment you get the I don't know. Ugh, whatever. Okay. Doctor's offices are weird. They like to be inefficient. Also, I have to pee really bad. Card to load. Is this the insurance card? Oh, here it is. Okay. 1 second. Do you guys need me to play music? I can sing for you. Could I sing? I don't know any songs right now. Should I sing the Jodi Arias song? Sorry, I don't want to give you guys nightmares. Jenny Okay. Sorry, I just had to send an email really quick. Hi, TM Jules, how are you doing today? Hello, hello. We randomly pivoted because of chat, and now we're in a little we're in a little hole right now. We're looking up this woman. Hold on, I'm gonna use the restroom really quick. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. All right, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, I was. I think I mentioned I wish I saw her face when she realized she was cut out of the will. Was that where we were? Maybe. Oh no, it was her party. Okay, so after her husband died, after she allegedly murdered him, she threw a party at the house, invited guests over, and they probably didn't know that her husband was dead. She was trying to celebrate the sale of the purchase of her home. But here's the thing. When you're flipping houses, right? How do you flip a house and then think that you could make double the money back 2 weeks later? So she bought the house for like $2 million-ish, right? Bought the house for $2 million-ish, and then she expected to flip the house 2 weeks later for $5 million. It's like 2 weeks later? Did you even have time to do anything to the house? No, it takes forever to do stuff to the house. Like, what did you do to the house? New flooring? Maybe? What would you do? Can't even renovate the kitchen that quickly. Maybe do the yard? How the hell did she think that she was going to flip it by almost double, more than double, and get $5 million? Because here's the thing, when buyers, when they look at the Zillow, they're going to see like, oh, historically, this house was purchased for X amount. And then like, oh, 2 weeks later, they're trying to sell it to you for $5 million. Any real estate agents in my chat right now? I'm so confused why she thought she was going to get that much money. Okay, I try to do it every spring to touch all the surface of my house. Some years my health got in the way, so spring cleaning was like fall or winter. The will was originally set to go to the business partner so that if something happened to the husband, then he could purchase the other half of the business. Oh, from his wife. Tell me about it. I have friends coming the latter part of this week. Too much to do. She would get the life insurance money in the end, but instead she tried to change it to her, but he caught it and changed it back and then didn't tell her. The party part reminds me of a story about this high school guy. Oh, yes. I know exactly who you're talking about, Snow Owl. High school guy killed his parents, had their party. Yep, had their bodies in the bedroom while he threw a house party. Yeah. Some loser murdered his parents. It was like mom and dad, right? I know mom, definitely. Mom and dad, I think. And then I think like he was a loser and didn't really have friends. He had like one good friend. And the reason why they had so many people over at the house is because, hey, you have a free house. There's going to be booze, alcohol, and everything like that. Yeah, everyone's going to go over there and have a party, even if you're like a loser, right? Free alcohol, free place to party for teenagers. And a bunch of people came over and partied, and they realized there was like, had a weird smell. You know, the house had a little weird smell. At some point, they started realizing there was like little pieces of, you know, they didn't know at the time, but there was like blood. Like near the cabinets, tables or something like that. Like there was blood. And then at some point, the guy was like, came out to his close friend, was like, yeah, I murdered my parents. Right? And then the friend was like, oh, fuck this. And called the cops on him. See, I wish more people were like that. Call the cops on them. Don't be conspiring with them. Don't be their accomplices. Don't try to hide the body with them. Don't try to cover them up. Nah, call the cops. The crazy part of the dead parents in the house. Yeah. Wasn't there something else crazy about that though? I forgot. I feel like some other shit went down. It is currently under contract for $3.75 million. In the following year, she wrote a book, Are You With Me, with her 3 children. Oh no. Eric had reportedly raised concerns that Richard had tried to kill him on at least 2 other occasions, including on Valentine's Day, less than 3 weeks before his death. He had warned his family, if anything happened to me, she was to blame. Holy shit. This is a mansion. Richards closed in on the mansion the day after her husband died. Jesus. No wonder she had a party. Oh my God. That is a party house. Holy. Eric had a reason to live. Eric also had a reason to live. Richards was carrying out an affair, or she was having an affair. Throughout their marriage, his family representatives have said. The slain husband stayed with Richards despite his numerous suspicion to spare the 3 kids from growing up in a broken home. Nah, man. If you think someone's trying to kill you, break up the family. You do not want your kids around that crazy person. Jesus. She's charged with first-degree aggravated murder, multiple counts, second-degree possession of controlled substance with intent to distribute, records. Sorry. All right, last article. Oh no, tried changing his life insurance policy. The Utah woman accused of killing the husband by serving him fentanyl-laced Moscow Mule authored a children's book about grief, tried to change his life insurance policy to make herself a beneficiary. Oh no. Corey, 33, allegedly tried to name herself the beneficiary of her 39-year-old husband's life insurance policy instead of his sister shortly before his March 2022 death. However, the insurance firm alerted Eric to the change in the time for him to reverse it, according to the outlet, which cited search warrant documents. Oh, Jesus. Eric Richards, who shared 3 sons with Corey, all under 11, ultimately removed his wife from the will altogether, but never told her. Tensions have flared since Richards and her husband, between Richards and her husband's family. What is this? What is this sandwich? Looks gross. What is this? Ugh. Does not look good. Richards allegedly assaulted her sister-in-law during a party she hosted the day after Eric's death, where she was drinking and celebrating. Both sides have spent several months in court over Eric's $3.6 million estate. His family members, I wonder if the family member hired a PI. Oh, man, and then requested for a autopsy report. Oh, I wonder how did she try to explain the fentanyl in his system? She probably didn't want to do an autopsy, and she probably just wanted to burn his body. But yeah, maybe his family fought for it and got an autopsy report. Oh, I want to know how she's going to explain away the fentanyl, or how she did initially. I mean, obviously she's going to be like, oh, my husband was a drug addict. You know, he abused me, blah, 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 blah. She's probably going to do some sort of spiel like that. His family members, including the sister named Richards, beneficiary, told police Corey had an alleged history of violence and past attempts to poison Eric, so much that he had warned that if anything happened, she was to blame. Yikes. Not looking good for you, Corey. Things are not looking good for you. Well, I'm trying to think. Can she somehow reverse this in any way? How would she be able to reverse this? Things are so bad for her. You know, the time that my opinion was completely reversed was in Danielle Redlick. She had some really bad headlines for her. It was like, woman marries stepfather. And then everyone's like, ew, gross. But then it's like, oh, you know, her mom was with the dad, but that's not her biological dad. And then also they were only together for a short period of time, and the mom died. And the daughter and the stepdad rekindled or something like that and had a relationship. Like, it's weird, but it's like, ugh, it doesn't look good. And then also the headline was like, woman stabs and murders husband, waits hours before calling 911, and then lies and said that he had a heart attack when he really was stabbed. And then another headline that was really bad was, woman apparently was on dating app hours after her husband was killed. That all looked really bad for her. But then when the trial happened, she was found not guilty, and I agree with that verdict. That's what I want to know. What's the cause and delay in the investigation? I don't know. Maybe they hired a PI. Maybe the police didn't find anything, and the family ended up hiring a PI or something. Oh yeah, this is the book right here. I think if there was... What a dummy. You ruin your kid's life, man. All their lives. Wait, what? According to the sister, Eric and his wife went to Greece a few years ago? Wait, if he... What? Why would she try to poison him back then? His wife gave him a drink. He became violently ill, and he called his sister saying he believed his wife had tried to kill him. What the fuck? Jesus. Jeez. All right, that's about it. The Mormon book lady. Oh, is she Mormon? Might have said that. Might have skipped over it. Exactly, Jeannie. It's like, that's crazy. They must I don't know. She must have been crazy in the relationship or something. I don't know. Or they had a tumultuous relationship. That's like really weird. I get food poisoning. I'm like, oh, someone's trying to kill me. I'm like, dude, I ate something and it's not good. My stomach hurts. Yeesh. All right, guys. How are we doing today? How's it going? You guys see how YouTube, they're trying to remove all the ad blockers or whatever? People can't have their ad blocks anymore. Watching YouTubes. They were LDS, but not real active, that they drank. What's going on with the Mormons? Yeah, my body's telling me so and so. I miss all you guys too. Yeah, I hope you guys had a good weekend. Oof. Oh, what is this new video? Faking your job. Interesting. Sorry, guys. There you go. Try to say he was addicted to painkillers. Yeesh. How are you, Corgi? I'm good. I'm just chilling. You know, reading about crazy people all the time. But you know what? We're getting justice. Got some justice with the Murdoch shit. Letitia Stauch, Lori Vallow. What else was there? I think that's about it, right? Upcoming stuff. We have Brian Kohlberger, end of next month, June. We have Sarah Boone in July, assuming there's no delays or anything. And then, was there something else going on? Someone mentioned that there was also something else coming up. Forgot what it was. She became more active at the church after the murder. Oh yeah, you guys mentioned DB. That's for the... Was it for the assault of his... What was their relationship? Baby mama? They had a kid together, right? Or was it ex-girlfriend? I don't remember. Robert Tell. Murdering a reporter. Oh, I think I heard about this. That man is so irritating. Yeah, no, the DB one, I didn't watch his trial, but we watched like the recaps. It is pretty aggravating. It's tough to watch. You think they all should have gotten DP? But the thing with DP in America is like you don't die immediately. It's like years and years and years of appeal and da, da, da. Actually, how did do you guys remember the DC shooters? They were DP'd like pretty ASAP, weren't they? They got death penalty pretty quick. Let's see, this was in 2002. 2002. They both get, or was it only one of them they got? Those were crazy times. It was 2002, and the main guy got lethal injection 2009. Yeah, so that was like 7 years later. That seems pretty quick, right? I feel like it's always like here they're still alive, like they were, you know, prosecuted in 1990 and they're still awaiting death row. It's like, dude, it's like 2023. What the heck? It's like 30 years now. But I wonder how did their how were they able to get so quickly? Because it was there probably no appeals, right? 7 years. Oh, the other guy got life in prison. Thanks for the great life, Corgi. All right, guys. Yeah, we're done. I'm sorry. I'm just doing some reading right now. Yeah, the older DP shooter dude has been executed. That. Hey, Tracy. Okay, guys. I mean, not all religion is bad. I'm not a religious person, but not all religion's bad. I'm not really a religious type. Oh, there are definitely people out there that are religious that are good people. Don't let the bad apples ruin it for you. The rules differ if you like rich or you prominent in society. What kind of rules are we talking about? Sometime this year, that's what Court TV told me. Yeah, Mormon. What? Magical underwear? Okay, I'm not going to read that. I don't know what the heck that is. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out. We were supposed to end the stream, I think, like in maybe an hour or two ago, but we got into this. We got sucked into a wormhole about this woman who allegedly murdered her husband by ways of fentanyl poisoning. Very interesting story because she apparently wrote a book about grieving for her kids and to help other families grieve when she was the one who allegedly murdered her husband for money. Jesus, what a way to just ruin your child's life. Or your children's life. All three of them. Bam, 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 bam. All at the same time. I hope the kids have a good family to go to. Because obviously dad is gone. Mom, we'll see. Might be gone. See what happens to her. I don't know. The sad thing about this is like, you know, if like the kids didn't have any family and the kids had to be separated, go to a foster care system, maybe land into like an abusive household. I don't know, like stuff like that's just like really sad. Like, do you not think about that stuff at all? But it looks like the family, looks like the dad has family. So hopefully the kids will live a normal-ish life. But it's tough. Hello, Nick. How are you doing today? There's a sentencing tomorrow. Sarah will be crazy. Sarah will be like, oh, God. I hope there's cameras in the courtroom for Sarah Boone. I want to see all her stupid little reactions. Okay? Fake eyes thing that she does. All right, guys. Hey, Stevie. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I will see you guys later. If you're new here, if you enjoyed the stream, feel free to hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We do true crime on here. We do, I don't know, court document stuff. And then on my YouTube channel. And my YouTube channel is all over the place. I post vlogs. I just post whatever I enjoy. Sometimes gaming stuff. Sometimes like tech review stuff. So whatever I feel like doing, honestly. It's all over the place. But I do stream on Twitch as well. If you guys want to stop by, hang out with me, feel free to stop by. And other than that, join the Discord if you haven't already. We have a Discord channel. It's like a hangout for the community. We do have a true crime section, so you're welcome to post stuff in there. If you want to post other things not true crime related, that's fine too. We have like a share pics, section. You can post pictures of your cute dogs or something like that. I love pets. But thank you so much for hanging out. What are you guys talking about? They wear what? They wear a special glitch? What is that? Like a chastity belt or something? Magical underwear? Dude, I had a teacher in high school that was Mormon, okay? I do not want to picture him in special underwear. But if there's anything else to be on the lookout for, or if you guys want me to cover something, post in the True Crimes channel. And thank you so much for hanging out. I will see you guys later. Gotta go work on some stuff. And I don't know, maybe I have to stream on Twitch. We'll see. I should stream on Twitch, but it's getting kind of late. Jesse? Okay, I'll look them up. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Or if you have any articles related to Jesse Kerr, I don't know how to pronounce that. Just post it in the Discord too. So, thanks for hanging out. If you guys missed the stream, I'll have the stream live, and maybe at some point I'll have the stream chopped up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna chop up the stream. I'll probably have like closing arguments with Lori Vallow, and then reacting to Gannon's family, and then us chatting about I don't even remember her name anymore, but fentanyl poisoner, alleged fentanyl poisoner, killer, murderer. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Take care, and I will see you guys later. I don't know when we're gonna be. I don't know when the next stream is gonna be, but we'll see. Bye.